2035, we definitely have an Indian UFC champion. I think we have multiple. Nobody was expecting me to make it to the finals because they had their own top guys. In my first fight, I think it was Seth. I beat Nihal, second round. And then third round, I beat Rachit. And the fourth round in the finals, I had that epic loss to Aman with that halo. Jiu-Jitsu's progression at the end is a cult, guys.
Indian fighters in the UFC. I know it's not a lack of talent here.
No.
What's actually going on?
There's not a lack of talent, but there's a lack of coaching, in my opinion.
So, train by day, Superset podcast by night. All day.
Especially in this social media kind of driven world, I feel it's...
Because everyone has like two personas now, right?
Exactly.
The social media persona and who they really are. And
what do you think my persona was?
So I think you're the same guy everywhere. Yeah.
I feel I'm less fun in person than social media probably, because on social media I'm just shitting on people more. Real life.
I see you sometimes in those Fade D'Souza comment section.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to do it earlier. Now I've stopped it. I'm like, bro, BJP is in power now, like really, really heavily.
And you're trying to grow your business.
And now I'm a business person. So earlier when I was not a business person, I would have said whatever I wanted. But now I have to be careful. I have students.
Yeah.
You know, this Michael Jordan quote. At some point he was asking, why do you support the Republicans? So he said, even Republicans buy my sneakers. So, yeah, have we started?
Cool, let's get started.
Let's go. Small talk is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of Superset Radio. I'm here today with a really special guest. It's the Magic Man himself, the Indian National Jiu Jitsu champion. Like, you did win that, right?
I won the Indian National Jiu Jitsu champion, but it's probably the shittiest tournament that you never want to go to. Yeah. It's the federation-based system that is starting to creep into Indian Jiu Jitsu now. So avoid that tournament, guys.
Yeah, you do have
I made a
video
full
about
YouTube
that, right?
video on
I've seen that. Yeah. Your experience. What was that like? Was it like easy run through? Like everybody?
It was easy run through because most of the people there were like wrestlers and judo guys. There were no like legit jiu-jitsu guys who came to compete there. And it was gi. And it was my like last minute decision to just hop on because some of my friends were going. So I was like, okay, I haven't done gi in like last 2 years. So I had to borrow a gi from one of my students.
Okay.
So I borrowed his gi and I was like, okay, let's go and see it. And actually somebody sponsored, Shiv Chaudhary, if you know him. He used to organize like jiu-jitsu competitions in local Bangalore scene earlier.
Okay.
So he sponsored my trip. He was like, okay, go take a flight, go, I'll pay for it. I was like, okay, no problem. I'll go to Dehradun, your place, and yeah. And then it
win the entire thing. Yeah. Now
there were like four fights, and yeah, bro, you wouldn't believe, like right before that fight day, in the night till like 2 or 3 o'clock, me, Shrikant Shekhar, Krishna Shish, you know, right?
I know.
Krishna Shish and his friend.
One more guy, I think.
Yeah, Anshuman.
Okay.
Anshuman, he's
Anshuman,
also from
that
Orissa,
guy, yeah,
Orissa BJJ scene.
Comes to IJJ.
We all were like just hanging out, having fun.
Till 3 a.m.?
Till 3:30. And then I leave, and then we had to be there for like 10 o'clock in the morning, right? To give like weights or whatever. And I leave around 3. I was like, okay, this is the last time that we need to get to bed. I need to catch some sleep. And then I'm calling these guys at around 10 o'clock. I'm at the venue, where are you guys? And these guys are still sleeping because apparently they never slept.
At all.
They woke up at 7. They slept at 7 in the morning or something. And unfortunately, they didn't have any trouble because the organization was such that they didn't care. मैं गया 10 बजे, but शाम में 7 बजे जाके उनका weigh-ins हुआ था. So the whole day I was like just wasting my time over there. And these guys caught a nice sleep.
Yeah, man. It's always like that with these government competitions. Yeah. Like when I competed in like this, you were there with the state powerlifting. We weighed in at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. And my first squat attempt. So for powerlifting, it's like squat, bench, deadlift. The weightlifting, clean and jerk, snatch. So squat, first lift of the competition. That was at 10 p.m.
In the night?
At the night. And 12 hours after I weighed in. And I was just waiting all day, and there was no water because I finished my own water and the venue like had no water. So
and the venue was like too far out. Usually they are in some shady
there was
locations.
Probably like shops around, but like I couldn't really leave because what if it started?
Bro, I've heard horror stories in MMA scene where like when I was training at Combat Lab / Warrior Scope, these guys used to go to compete in these amateur tournaments. and it would be like in some far off remote area of UP, and they will go there for this local fight night, and the fights will start at 12:30 in the morning, like night basically.
Yeah.
AM.
Yeah, got it.
And it was supposed to start at 7:30, but just because they have so many fights they host, just because of making money, it will start at 2:30 AM in the night and all that. And these guys are cutting weight also, and that also drastic weight cut. It's not like jiu-jitsu that you cut a kilo or 3 kilo, 5 kilo.
10
They're
kgs maybe.
10 kgs and they are just starving. That is like brutal in MMA scene if you are coming up in India right now.
It's hard, man. Super
crazy.
hard. Yeah. So you started Kaizen MMA, I think May or April, it's 1 year?
April, it was, so my birthday is on 13th of April. I started the gym on 14th of April.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
So 10 months or 9 months right now? 9 months, I guess.
but what's it been like? I assume it wasn't hard, it wasn't easy starting a gym, at least in
I feel honestly it was like easier. Like I expected it to be difficult, but it was easier. I'll give a lot of credit for it to like the kind of like community I built around, or I've been in the jiu-jitsu community for a long time, right? First in Bangalore itself.
almost a decade.
Yeah, first in Bangalore itself, and then I moved to Delhi and that side. Plus, I became like really active on social media and my content scene for the past 2 years through my YouTube channel as well. And then here, I did a lot of podcasts on YouTube with Indian jiu-jitsu guys and everyone in the scene. So people started to know me. So that really helped me. Like even the first few students that I got, like 5-10 students, they were people like who knew a friend of a friend who wanted to join because I was coming here, things like that. So that initial hype, it really helped me with. And then the second thing which really helped was obviously the small business marketing that you have to do, where you like run ads on Instagram and all these things. And then if you have quality product, people will stick with it.
Yeah.
So that's what has been going on for the past 9 months.
Yeah. And what's growth been like?
It's been good. Like so right now we have around 70 students.
Wow.
Yeah, and the space, like today only we did the weekend class, and the space was so little that I had to show like a very, very specific technique. I wanted to show them something different, but I had to show them some basic guard pass and pass the guard and immediately go for a submission, like a Ruotolo that's what I showed them. And because it does not require a lot of space to move about, right? Otherwise, I would have shown them like a full wrestling sequence, takedown, things like that. But it was so packed today. So it is a good problem to have, and hopefully in the future, very soon, we are looking to expand as well. So
Saturday, your open mat? Like
Saturday was initially a class, like 10 to 11 we have a class, jiu-jitsu class, and then 11 to 12 it's an open mat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So the open mat was packed or the class?
The class was packed and the open mat was also packed. I had to kick people out because the MMA batch was going to start right after that.
Yeah, afternoon competition batch.
The comp batch.
Got it, bro. So I know the bio of Kaizen says like making like the next.
Bro, you started working with me for the Kaizen project.
Yeah,
so this guy made our first, I think, social media graphic, na?
Social media graphic, the
first few posts on Kaizen's page went through his
timetable, the routine, all of that. And you had a different logo as well.
Bro, that logo was so fuck all. None of these motherfuckers dared to tell me, bro, this logo looks fuck all, don't use it. And you know, the guy that I was making with, he's a good friend, common friend. And he was like, bro, listen, this looks like a percentage symbol. And we can also like kind of mold it as one. So it will be like consistent with that 1%. I was also like, that's pretty cool.
Sold. Done.
That's pretty cool.
But then you see it from a different angle.
But then like after 3 months, I had a realization, and another friend of mine who was working with me for the t-shirts, he was designing our t-shirts and logos. So he came up with this original right now, the Kaizen one. Kaizen with the background Japanese name. So I looked at it and I was like, bro, this looks cool enough to be my logo as well. So why not just flip the logo? So then when I flipped, like people really responded, "Ha, bhai, ye sahi lag raha hai. Kya rakha hua tha?" I said, you could have told me 3 months earlier.
I didn't want to say something bad. Like,
bro, so I was going with that abstract logo thing. Ki chalo theek hai, at least it will be funny. It will be like deep, not funny. But it ended up becoming funny actually.
Yeah.
But I paid the guy. I was like, yeah, bro, you did your work. Go ahead.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's a nice logo to begin with, though. Like, even
It's
what you have
good,
now,
bro.
I imagine it's going to change again. Like, that's just what happens with logos.
Let's see.
It will.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like
So
you have a nice logo, bro. People
Bro,
in
I made
Jiu-Jitsu
that.
Superset.
Superset Cassandra mid, but People of Jiu Jitsu, I just made it on Canva. I put a black background, chose Helvetica font, wrote People of Jiu Jitsu.
This is called simplicity, bro. Just go ahead with it.
It looks so cool.
Don't
and then
think too much before designing or anything. Just use Canva subscription and go ahead with it.
just made sure it was center aligned.
Yeah.
Printed out stickers.
Bro, so one thing which I really liked was ki when you were working with us also, like for the first few posts, everything that we were posting, it had like, and I see this with Superset as well, like the color,
Consistency.
brand color consistency.
Yeah.
This I really haven't understood at all because my understanding of colors is like very random. And anytime you'll see our story, sometimes like it has the text that I write to explain the story, right? So sometimes the font is like, there's no consistency. This is what I was thinking about your brand and everything. You have consistency with the fonts as well, the kind of font color that you are using. Whereas I like just go random, like, आज ये वाला Instagram नया font आया, let's use this. Then make it a. I think yellow is the safest color for me.
I think like if I was you, I would stick with that Kaizen green and just make it green everywhere, like some.
But when I write font in green, it looks really
not
odd.
the font. So that'll be a secondary color.
Okay.
The font, I don't know, is it white or black?
I use just white. So right
That's
now, if
fine.
you see our gym also, it's like the walls are white and the mats are all green. So white and green are like our two main colors.
So the font can be white and stick to like most basic font.
By the way, a lot of people also do ask me, why are your mats green in color? Like, are you a big Gracie Jiu Jitsu fan? So yes, that's the reason. Gracie University, the original OGs of Jiu Jitsu. By the way, did you hear what happened like with them?
Like a threesome or something?
They got busted for sex cult, bro. Not even a threesome.
It's always the Jiu-Jitsu guys.
Always. So Jiu-Jitsu's progression at the end is a sex cult, guys. Okay, so that's why I have dissociated myself slowly. I've started it, and now I've pivoted to the MMA stratosphere. But
yeah, we don't know how the story will end. We'll find out. Cool. So Kaizen's bio says like creating the next set of UFC fighters.
Yes.
Why do we like? I know we have Anshul. We have a few other Indians
not only
in
UFC fighters, champs.
UFC champs.
Champs.
But like, where are the like Indian fighters in the UFC? I know it's not a lack of talent here.
No.
What's actually going on?
There's not a lack of talent, but there's a lack of coaching, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like right now, especially with the page that I was talking about, MMA lifestyle vlog that I'm running, there are so many kids who are hitting me up after watching the vlogs that I'm making. Ki, Bhaiya, I want to train, but I don't have anything. How to train? मैं यहाँ रहता हूँ. Whenever I tell them, they always ask me, where are you? They hope ki I'm probably in their city or nearby. And when I tell them Bangalore, they're all like crying emoji, one single teardrop emoji and all that. So I see that the main problem is not that there are not people who are motivated to learn. The biggest problem is lack of good academies. And lack of, like, I can literally tell you there are 4 or 5 decent academies in the country where you can train and actually hope of leveling yourself up. But most of the MMA academy, number one, they just call themselves MMA. They don't have any legit MMA instructor or a background or people who do that. They just run with the buzzword. Okay, that's number one. And number two is that most of these MMA academies are so old school in their methods of training that if you go there, you will just get injured after a point, and it is inevitable. McDojos or even like regular gyms, bro, like who just brand themselves. I've seen their training. They will. आज ही एक देख रहा था किसी ने forward किया था. Like they put you, make you step inside a tire or like vehicle tire, 2 people, 1 foot in. And now they're asking you to just bang each other in the head.
Brain damage. Bro.
Just calling it like pocket fighting. But that's not the most important part of MMA. It's not pocket fighting. There are like 10 different things that you could have taught, right? Rather than taking that brain damage. So I think the number one factor is, and same for Jiu-Jitsu as well, I don't think that people are not interested in Jiu-Jitsu, but there are very few good Jiu-Jitsu gyms in the country.
Where will they learn from?
Yeah. So if you don't have like a big pool of people learning, you can't expect to produce like high-level fighters out of that, right?
Yeah.
So it will just happen once in a while. Maybe if UFC is kind enough, they will take another guy randomly from here and there, but that will be the story. So that's what we are trying to change with Kaizen, especially in the South Indian MMA scene.
Yeah.
Because North has Warriors Cove right now, it has Cross Train right now, from where people are actually graduating and making it. At least at the national level right now, they are making it. So we want to provide like a platform to the South Indians, because I've heard a lot of complaints, like all these South Indian guys, tried to go to the north to learn, and they just don't adjust to the north weather, atmosphere, culture, whatever.
Atul, one of them.
Atul, Havish, he went and lived there for like 3 months, he told me, and he could not adjust. So all these guys needed like a platform like this here, and I feel like we have the skills, the coaching skills, and we have the consistency in our efforts, which will pay off in the future for sure.
I saw you kind of get into an argument online with someone about the selection process, where there's clearly like...
How long ago was this?
I think like 3-4 months ago.
Achha, bro, are you keeping tab of all my fucking Insta?
It's always suggested to me, like MagicMan commented, like...
Okay.
But you're on all the main MMA.
Yeah, I used to be like, now I've reduced, as you said, business owner now. So earlier I used to go all out. But yeah, I think selection process was so not transparent because you never know who will get picked up. Like they picked up these two guys, Sumit Kumar, who had like fake padded record. Later they found out. He had like 9-0 and 7 of the guys that he fought were like just bums who were getting paid to lose to him. Okay. And then there was that other guy, Rana Rudra Pratap Singh, who again, I think that skill set wise, he did not belong there. He had a lot of social media followers and following. That is good for him. I hope he makes it. But skill wise, you saw him. He got mounted and he had 0 answers. Like, it looked like a amateur
Karate Combat,
fighter.
was that? Karate Combat?
Even in Karate Combat, he went to Road to UFC as well, which is like the premier thing if you want to go to UFC. So there he lost, and then Karate Combat also, like it was a bad show. So yeah, right now I feel like the people who are in charge of selecting people for UFC and all, they need to do a better job and find better time, because I feel like there are much better time than what they have picked up. Like there are guys in the Northeast who are really good. There are guys in even in these top Indian MMA academies who are really, really hardworking and they are putting in the efforts, but they are just not getting it.
So they pick up the guys with the most following? Like
they do that.
Usually?
And this is also a factor, guys, like if you want to go to a show like Karate Combat, let's say, which is all about clout and how we can produce that viral moment, and that's a different
highlights.
That's a different strategy of promoting fights, right? You don't only want like the best fights, sometimes you also want the like most viral moments, and KC is all about that. So if you want opportunities in promotions like that, I feel this will be my personal advice to all Indian MMA guys. Please work on your social media. Please work on the skills, your communication skills, and please work on your social media, because nobody cares you are the best fighter in the world unless they see it, unless they get to see it, okay? And they will only get to see it if you have enough eyeballs, enough numbers on your account.
Impressions,
yes.
Reach.
So I tell this to my guys as well, and I know like people don't take it seriously right now, but they will suffer in future if they don't pay attention, because somebody will take your spot who is not even as good as you.
Yeah, there's this guy in Warriors Cove, the Rhino or something.
Chungren Koren.
He's doing amazing on
Bro,
social
he
media
went mega viral after that call out to Narendra Modi. Did you see that? People call out other fighters, he called out Narendra Modi. He was like, hey, Manipur mein violence ho raha hai 1 saal se, which is like very unfortunate. It's still going on, by the way.
Yeah.
I have guys like Niranjan and all in my gym who are from Manipur, and they tell me about that. But he called out Modi and said ki kuch karo, aap bas keh rahe ho, kuch kar nahi rahe ho. And then all the opposition parties started sharing his post. Ki dekho ek Indian MMA champion hai, Rahul Gandhi, Congress, everyone shared it. And he got like mega stardom after that. Right now he has a ton of like 700, 900,000 followers.
Dude, he opened a separate account as well just for his personal posts now.
Crazy.
Yeah, I didn't follow that out. No, I followed from Superset, but he didn't follow me back. So I unfollowed him.
Bro,
eventually.
This follow and follow thing. So even in my new account, all the people who are like Indian MMA guys, I vet them and I see, okay, this is an Indian MMA guy. He liked this video of mine, which was an MMA, but he didn't follow me. So I just follow them and they follow me back. Right? So this is a good reminder to them.
A follow is like to know that I exist.
Yes.
In that way.
So it's a good strategy initially, and all these guys will message me back saying, "Bhai, jab bada account ho jayega to unfollow mat karna." I said, "No, bro. You guys are the first.
You are the OGs.
First people on board.
Yeah. The real ones.
The real ones.
So yeah, it's like cheap, like basically free advertising. Like you have to like know about my page, so I'll like follow you. But yeah.
Bro, everyone does this. So like earlier I used to feel one way or the other about social media and how people are putting themselves out there. But I feel like this is the modern era that we are living in.
You have to grind it.
You have to put yourself out there as well as much as possible.
Yeah, and this unfollow thing, I think it can take you from 0 to 1,000. But beyond that, you just got to grind it, bro.
Especially, I understood this with YouTube. YouTube is very notorious for this. So in YouTube, getting 1,000 subscribers is the most difficult thing ever.
Yeah.
I reached like around 700 or something on my MagicmanPod.
I think you're around that.
After 80 videos, I had like 700k around. And then what happened was I put like, मैं वो shorts भी बना रहा था because shorts became really popular right
shorts.
then. Yeah, so मैंने एक shorts बनाया Volkanovski जो knockout हुआ था इलिया टोपुरिया से.
Yeah.
So
last year.
Yeah, last year. And right after that, my account got a strike, copyright strike, because UFC struck it down, saying कि भाई इतनी जल्दी क्यों डाल दिया कल ही तो ये knockout हुआ है. I didn't wait at all. मैंने next day
You
डाल
got
दिया.
footage of the fight?
I had that clip, but I did it more from the explanation point of view, but they still stuck it down.
That's strict.
Yeah.
So you get more than one strike though.
3 strikes ना, लेकिन that one strike killed my reach so much. उसके बाद मैंने 5-6 videos और डाले, and I went from मेरा 3,000 के around views आने लगा था, which is like a decent amount like initially, but it went to like 300, 400. So that was so discouraging कि उसके बाद फिर I forgot about YouTube और अभी तक मैंने शुरू नहीं किया. So hopefully
it is like discouraging for a channel, like especially when you're grinding it.
300 views, like what are you talking about?
What are you doing it for?
Why am I doing it?
300 views for a YouTube short.
For a YouTube channel, like a YouTube video.
A short or a long form?
Not a short, a video.
A long form.
Shorts were like even more random, bro. किसी shorts पे अचानक से 300, 3,000 आ जाएगा, किसी पे 4,000, but that ceiling takes a time to break. Like जैसे we were watching 3.2 million, वो ऐसा direct नहीं होता, मुश्किल होता.
Mine's going to 500 and it just stops beyond that. They don't give
Bro,
me
I spent so much time just studying ki, bhai, why my reels are just stopping after this. You see not that big hike and then it just goes
stop.
like this.
It's so random.
Yeah.
So apparently on Reddit, people are like, YouTube shows it to 500 people, and if they never click like, they didn't watch it long enough, it doesn't show it to more people.
Bro, I've done so much of Reddit hours wastage on YouTube. कैसे बढ़ेगा, ये कैसे बढ़ेगा.
But it's all like it. I don't know if it's fact because everyone has their own opinion on how the algorithm works.
I feel at the end of it, it's the game of consistency, bro. Like if you have a good product which you think that people will watch, like बहुत लोग ऐसे भी हैं which I have seen कि जो day 500 or something कर रहे हैं और उनका 1,000 followers है on Instagram.
That's hard.
That's really tough, man. Those motherfuckers have done it for 500 days. लेकिन उनका जब content देखो तो लगेगा भाई क्या ही कर रहे हो, मतलब कुछ value का नहीं है. So if you think that if you have something of value to add to give to the people, and if you just be consistent, ultimately I feel like you should see the result.
Yeah, it might take a year.
And this is my challenge this year. Like is Saal, I want to do the same thing. I want to start from day one, which I have done, and I want to just go till December with my Instagram vlogs and see what happens at the end.
Yeah. So when I was trying to like build out YouTube and all, I was following some Mr. Beast, and there's one Logan Paul. Logan Paul, like, hate the guy, don't like his drink, but he gives some good advice on growing a channel. He's like, give this 10 years of your life. Like, just really try it for 10 years.
Even they did it. Like, they did it for so long. Mr. Beast used to say, I used to just obsessively study YouTube videos.
Thumbnails, just he was
Thumbnails,
Yeah.
So it takes I think if you have a team, you can do it faster. If you have a single person who is doing the editing part, who is doing the thumbnail design, it will just occupy too much time in your day where you are like, you will get frustrated fast. Yeah. Whereas if you have a team of 2 to 3 people, I think that's the best scenario.
And then you get more emotional about you put out a video and if it doesn't do well, you're like, I spent so much. I was at 1 month. I stopped doing my day job because I was trying to do this, and then it doesn't reach anyone, then it's harder.
Literally, like right now, my life has become in the first half of my day only MMA, training, teaching, and everything. In the second half of the day, just editing.
Yeah,
and by that, it becomes 9. Then eat food, binge watch something, and sleep. That's it.
It's nice. It sounds kind of peaceful. Like that.
It's peaceful, yeah. I like see in MMA lifestyle. I feel it's a lot of, even Danner says this. If you want to do something very consistently, the lifestyle has to become monotonous. You can't do it with like partying every weekend or every 2-3 days and still being consistent at producing content like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like I haven't praised it long time ago. It has been like now 8 years of doing this. So it has become like just like, but yeah, this editing part has been new. So let's see.
Yeah. What software do you use?
I'm using just the phone. I try to do it on Mac, but I felt like it's the same thing.
You know,
It's
Instagram is
faster.
releasing its own software to edit videos.
Are they?
I think in
Yeah,
March.
their in-house video editor is very trash. So hopefully that's good.
Yeah, they're about to release the edit kind of feature. Plus the reel duration is increasing to 3 minutes.
Yeah, but that defeats the purpose of reels. Like
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Nobody's gonna watch
Who's gonna watch a reel now? Now it's long form.
More education content, like people who makes more education content for them.
Bro, abhi bhi 1.5 minute hai ya 90 seconds hai.
Yeah,
But
1 minute
as soon as you go above 1 minute, your reach just dies.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it just kills.
I'll share the link. So there's this girl who makes very good explanatory videos, but his production level is way high.
क्या नाम है? अच्छा बता देना बाद में, no problem. Another thing is that if you already become a big channel, then anything that you push, people will watch it, right?
That's
But
true.
as a beginner channel, you can't go like 1 minute or 2 minute videos. You can't do that.
You have to be very creative how you present your views.
Hook.
This is actually
First 5 seconds.
This is hooks are perfect. This is actually advice which I heard from Tanmay Bhatt. He was talking to one of the creator, I think Varun or someone, and he said कि आजकल सारे लोग podcast बना रहे हैं, ठीक है? Everyone is making podcasts.
Yeah.
So he said कि the way to actually make podcasts is to start with the short form. Because people, when you are unknown, people will give you like 3 seconds or 10 seconds of their time. They will not give you 2 hours of their life, right? For example, let's say people who don't know us in the outside Jiu Jitsu community, they stumble upon, Peeyush and Wayne sitting together talking about Jiu Jitsu. Like, what the fuck?
Who are these dumbasses?
Yeah. Scroll past it, bro. Swipe right, swipe left, whatever. Yeah. But if they see like in 3 seconds we are doing like a submission, choking someone out over here, they're like, okay, 10 seconds to dekh hi sakta hu. So that's the thing. You have to start with a short form first. इसीलिए मैं वापस Instagram vlog पे आ गया अभी कि पहले short form करते हैं. इससे जब एक बार following build होता है, then we can start redirecting them to YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube का सबसे गंदा चीज ये है ना कि you can't even share it with your followers, bro. Like if I used to share like all the videos that I'm making with my Instagram followers, even out of good heart, goodwill, you will click on it, you will see, and you will be like, ठीक है, बाकी बाद में देखेंगे.
Yeah.
And that 30 seconds watch time just kills my upward ascent because
Won't show it to more people
YouTube thinks कि oh
Your
30
video is
seconds
trash.
देख के, yeah.
No one's watching
People
it.
are just leaving.
I used to have the same thing. I will upload to my WhatsApp status and everyone will watch. But the duration, my video is fucking 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
But I will get only 30 seconds. So what I used to do, I will upload at midnight, like 3 a.m. And then that 500 views system will happen. So my click-through rate went very high.
Yeah.
But as soon as I will start sharing, it went down.
Click-through rate आ भी गया ना, तो watch duration सबसे important होता है. That
Yeah.
determines if the video is gripping or not. People are enjoying.
That's what they determine.
By the way,
too.
this has become a social media podcast. So let's go.
We'll change.
Martial arts.
We'll just complete this. So, like when my family or my friends are like they're watching,
Yeah.
I'm saying you better watch the entire
full-
thing
the full-
till the end. If it's a 3-hour
Background में लगा के छोड़ दो भाई, देखो भी मत, बस चलने दो.
don't open it and close it.
Yeah.
That'll kill it. Yeah.
So don't share. So this is a good advice that I got. Don't share it on YouTube. Sometimes I used to just put thumbnail. If people find thumbnail interesting, later down the line they can just watch my channel.
For sure.
And plus, Instagram also won't promote your that particular Instagram story because you are redirecting
To YouTube,
from
yeah,
their
yeah.
platform
To different platform. Yeah.
Cool. Taking a step back, we have all of this food in front of us. So, if you know Seth, he started his own bakery.
You didn't want to say his name.
It's fine, we can say his name.
Okay, we can say his name. Shit. I thought Saf was Voldemort in this podcast.
Seth started this bakery called Bunco Bakery. I think it's been like over a year now. 1 year, maybe 3-4 months. And he's actively been trying to market it. So I buy from his bakery as much as possible. So back when I was living, I think in Sanjay Nagar, like I think it was out of the radius.
Okay.
But now I live here.
In HSR it is.
Surprisingly, I think he was telling me they increased the radius
Awesome.
on Swiggy. So I know you like coffee, so I got you this tiramisu from
Guys,
Bunco.
even more than coffee, I like tiramisu. So thank you so much, Saf. This is awesome. Let me just taste it and give you a review. Then
Yeah, let's see. Let's dig in. What do we think of this?
wait, यहाँ से खुलेगा ना?
Yeah, just like
Rip it
take the
upwards.
lip. I got it. Just hold that down. Oh, good.
Oh. मुझे लगा rip करना पड़ेगा. All right. To Saf, cheers.
Cheers. You know whose favorite dessert tiramisu is? Tony Ferguson. Like
Oh. After Khabib slipped on, Khabib cut the weight and
like tiramisu.
Bro, this is really good. Some tiramisus are like really bitter, but this is the perfect balance between like good delicious taste and not being overly bitter. वो किसी में rum डाल देते हैं ना, it becomes extra bitter.
No, and this doesn't even like taste like too sweet, which is like desserts where
That's what I was saying, yeah.
I don't want to feel too bad after I eat some.
No guilt trip.
Bro, I have like a huge sweet tooth. So like I need something sweet after almost every meal.
Every meal.
And like,
What do you have then?
like usually like Bunco is good because all of their stuff is like not too sweet. They have these Berliners though, they're like they're a little sweet, and that's okay because of how good it is. But this doesn't taste too sweet at all. It's just the right amount of like I can taste like some coffee, some chocolate. It's great. But if I'm trying to be healthy, I'll just like have watermelon or something.
Yeah.
With some chaat masala on it. And
Healthy stuff. Very unhealthy stuff.
wait, sugar free.
अच्छा, still doesn't make it, bro. कितना caffeine डालते हैं? बीच में I got addicted to Red Bull, then I had to like long time to
75 mg. I think that's like 1 cup.
Yeah, who am I telling caffeine about? मैं हर दिन blog post पे लिखता हूँ. आज मैंने
Sorry, my
बनाया
coffee. I broke the machine, dropped it all over myself. Yeah, I watch all of that.
Thank you guys. MMA lifestyle.
So we got this as well, so you can take this home. This is from Bunco.
Let's unveil it.
It's a Japanese milk bread. So Saif said it's going to be the softest bread you ever have. You can have it with butter. Just like, I don't know, maybe put it in the next vlog, like along with your coffee.
Sure.
Making this
Coffee को dip करके.
pre-open mat meal.
Done.
Cool,
Thank
bro.
you, Saf. Thank you.
So, getting back to it, who are the fighters to watch in the current Indian MMA scene, you would say? It's the top of your head.
So, Chungring is definitely one guy who can make it to the UFC, I feel. There is other good fighter from cross-trained, Punyajit Likharu.
You had your podcast with him.
I had a podcast with him as well. Plus, he's like very technical. Like a lot of fighters, you'll see like they're not technical, but they're just like winning off the grit and this. He's very technical. The guy that we have, Avizo Lanamai from Nagaland, bro, very technical, super good in striking. He had a last head kick finish in the Bidang Fighting Championship. I went with him. And he's going to fight very soon in MFN, so you'll see him show some like world-class skills.
Debut?
No, he has already had 3 fights in MFN. He has won 2 and lost 1. He lost the last one against Rahul Thapa. That was 1.5 years ago.
He's another skilled guy.
It was a very close fight where Rahul. So Avizo is a striker. Rahul is a grappler, pure grappler, pure striker.
Greek God MMA.
Yeah, Greek God MMA. And Rahul just held him against the cage the most of the fight. Had his back also, but he was able to escape. But Avizo's striking is so good that people want to just grapple with him. So that's why he made this transition last year when we started the academy. He was one of the guys who came through the social media, right? So I used to post all these breakdowns of MFN on social media, and he used to respond to it, ki, coach, this is nice. So when he heard that I am shifting to Bangalore to start my own academy,
He moved.
He called me, said, ki, bro, I'll come. So I thought, okay, he'll come whenever. So when I come here and when I open the academy on the first day, I hear from him, coach, can I come today? Like, what? He said, ki, I have moved here, I have shifted, I have got my accommodations and everything. So he has been there since day one, the first training that we had. I think even pre-opening, we had some training sessions. He was there for that as well.
Out of you, like, sorry, Kaizen isn't opening plan camps. The guy moved here just for that.
Yeah. So he was he's one of the good guys to watch. I would say.
Aman Gusen?
So he hasn't fought as much yet. He has terrific grappling for sure, but he hasn't fought. He's still in the amateur scenes. So I'm just talking about the
Bidang, right?
pro guys right now. Not even Bidang. I think Warrior Scope, na, wahan pe train kar raha hai. He has fought in Bidang.
Yeah. Sure.
So it's very early for him right now. He has to work his way up a lot. But Niranjan from our team, bro.
Yeah,
so again, he's a guy who has been a victim of just like taking random fights because coaches just ask you, force you to take fights sometimes. कि भाई एक fight आ रहा है कर ले ऐसा. ठीक है. India में ये भी तो scene है ना कि you try to make money off your fighters 30-40% unse commission le lo, fight fees le lo, which is like terrible.
You know this guy will win.
So Niranjan fought a random fight which he shouldn't have taken at that point in his career, and he lost the first fight. So now hopefully this year we get to reverse that, fight like 3-4 fights, get the win record. So we are looking forward to that. So he's also a very talented guy. And I'm sure like even in Warriors Cove and Crosstown, there are like a lot of up and coming talented guys who are training and working hard every day. I've heard like a lot of young names who are coming out of there. So the scene looks upwards, in the upwards trajectory. We just have to hope that more legit MMA gyms come across. For me, the legit MMA gyms definition is that you are not killing the talent. Okay, a lot of gyms kill the talent. They will have good fighters, good people come there, and then injuries, demotivation, humiliation, things like that will happen, and then you leave. You end up quitting MMA.
Indian MMA gyms are notorious for that.
Yes. Indian martial arts community in general.
Yeah. McDojos.
Yeah.
The entire...
You fight, you go to that gym to train, you are banned. You fight in that promotion, you are banned.
Crazy.
Something similar to your story in weightlifting as well, right?
Yeah. Powerlifting banned from now. Hopefully, like, they can reverse my ban or they just let me compete.
Have you even requested to someone? How did they get to know that you competed there?
Well, honestly, like, there's a few other lifters, like back then, who also competed in the weightlifting.
Oh, so everyone got banned too?
They all got banned, and then that was not it. They had to write an apology letter.
Bro, fuck weightlifting
saying sorry for
federations.
competing in that other fed.
Fuck weightlifting federations of Bangalore, of India. If you do this shit,
Like-
where people who just want to compete in more competitions, you ban them just because saying...
There's no
this
prize for winning anyway.
Yeah,
Just medal, that's it.
Bro,
Certificate.
I feel like... So this is why I feel like there is so much of value in building a platform, a social media platform in this day and age, where you can broadcast the same message to like 100,000 followers or 100,000 people who are into the scene, who are doing the same thing. Watch out for these corrupt bullshit practices of these people.
Yeah.
It like enrages me, bro, when I hear this. Same in MMA. There are a lot of bad faith actors, bad apples, who will just like try to get away with bullshit, trying to sanction fights and whatnot on their whims and just not promote this guy. Not like too many bad actors who do this.
To be fair, if I had to like defend why they ban, like is the representative of the and that's like the basically I would say the Olympics of powerlifting in the world. So that's like the ADCC.
Powerlifting is also in Olympics, right?
No, it's not.
It's not?
I think it's in the Asian Games Commonwealth.
Just the weightlifting is in Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is like the sport like has its steroid problems, right? But they test and they're a clean federation. It's a tested fed. So they ban you because
Which organization do they test under? WADA, USADA, what is it?
I think it's
Because if it is not
WADA.
both those, it cannot be like
I think
as
it's-
recommendable.
It's WADA. So last year, the entire Indian team was banned fully from competing internationally because 3 or 4 athletes tested positive for PEDs. So I think
We are the Russians in powerlifting. bro. Just keep getting banned once in a while in 5 years.
yeah. So I think now it's like unbanned, like they're competing. But
So, yeah.
it's a tested fed. All the other feds are untested. You can take whatever you want.
So what if I compete in a different promotion? I'll come back to your promotion eventually. Then you can test me. Like, is that a reason? why
They
you're saying-
can't really like test everyone. So it's pretty random. So if they feel like you won, you're on the podium and you're on something, they'll pull you up and they'll test you.
Yeah. So this is how they do it in Jiu Jitsu as well.
No.
In IBJJF, they don't test anyone unless you podium.
Yeah.
So you can go win the first prize, they will test you. If you were the second prize, they won't test you. So actually, like, you can be super roided, get the second medal, like the silver, and not get tested at all.
That's like the loophole of that.
Yeah.
But if you like want to go down that.
But I think testing is so difficult also. Like they say ki there are so many different compounds and variations. It's like ever evolving process. You'll have to be on top of the technological evolution and the biological, all that stuff, that is the chemical evolution actually. And yeah, even UFC did away with USADA now. So just because they were so strict about it, and now
Are they still testing though?
they say that they have their own testing agency, but then you see guys like Arman Tsarukyan with fucking sculpted bodies, which is like impossible to get.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't believe it. I
What
don't
was your
believe-
take on that? Did he like actually get a back like injury or missed weight?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. People are saying that as a conspiracy theory.
Inside
but
job.
But
But then that guy lost in like 2 to 3 minutes. Like Islam is next level.
Islam is next level. Moicano was also like a really good fighter. I did not expect him to lose so far. Especially he's a black belt, bro, and he got submitted by Islam, who always shits on Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. Like who gave him this belt?
If Sambo was easy,
We
it would
gotta
be
check
called
this guy.
Yeah.
Take his black belt away.
That
But
thing
yeah.
you said, right? If Sambo was easy, it would be called Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, that's their Pakistan. I think I totally agree with that. Sambo is actually much difficult than Jiu-Jitsu, bro, to be honest, because the sports Sambo and then there's combat Sambo. The combat Sambo has actual fucking punches, kicks. You can headbutt people in that, which is not even legal in MMA. So combat Sambo is a dangerous sport. People have slick judo throws. One thing good about Sambo is that they embrace all, like just like Jiu-Jitsu, they welcome all the martial arts like striking, judo, leg locks. Jiu-Jitsu just is more sophisticated, I would say.
Right.
Like the systems and everything. And that also has happened like in the last 5 to 10 years. It wasn't like as sophisticated before. People used to just spaz out like earlier also, still do. But earlier they used to do a lot. And now since the Danaher days and you can call
Jordan,
it, yeah.
Gordon Ryan.
They have
guys
taken it to like a more sophisticated martial
Systematically
art.
insert whatever you want.
Systematically, they have made Jiu-Jitsu better than Sambo again.
I guess. Yeah. So everyone kind of like knows about the UFC, which is like the biggest MMA promotion in the world. But Indian MMA promotions, like, what are the ones that like are actively? There's MFN. I like DCW. I think they do a fairly okay job. There's Kanchenjunga Fight Night.
So in India right now, what the scene is in MMA, there is one big promotion which everyone knows, that is MFN, and they have fighters from all different parts of the country signed with them. Then there are these regional promotions who are coming up, which I feel like are totally needed. I would say the top promotion right after MFN right now in terms of the way they do things, I would rate it actually even a little bit higher than MFN. That is Aturto. So this is a promotion in Arunachal Pradesh.
Great marketing, by the way.
Arunachal Pradesh, exactly what I was coming to. They know how to market fights. And if you're a promotion, it literally says in the word, you are a promoter. Promotion of the fight. This is something where MFN falls flat on its face. Like right now, I'm hearing MFN is going to happen on next month in Feb, right?
Yeah.
Technically, they should have started, or even like strategically, they should have started the promotion and everything on the page, started showing the different fighters. This is what UFC does, right? Right before the fight week, they start going with embedded and all these shows, countdowns.
Vlog style.
They have like these independent contractors who will start going and creating content like Nina Drama with people just to like hype up the fights. And that's how you sell the fights. That's how you make people interested in the fights. You create basically a backstory. And this is what MFN fails to do right now in the present scene. Number one, I think that they have some financial problems. They don't have enough investment. So that's
MFN?
why. Yeah, I think the owner, Aisha Shroff, came in a lot of press conference and said, Ki, if there's an investor, please come to us. We don't have money.
Yeah, bro.
So, but I still feel like the promotion bit does not require a lot of money. You just have to send like 3 camera guys or 2 camera guys, 1 editor to different places in the country and just film the gym and the fighter, how they are training. And they did this in one of those, I think it was MFN 11 or 12, that did this exact thing, but then they did not do it again, which is stupid. Whereas NWC, Nepal Warriors Championship, you'll see like they do such a slick job at editing, at promoting fights, telling the story, doing some interviews, sit-down interviews, even though they are operating on a like very like 1 fraction of a budget of MFN,
Yeah,
which deals in crores right now. So this is why I was so impressed with Aturto, that again a smaller budget promotion, but doing
They
a
got more
fantastic,
creative with
yeah.
it. And that's always good to see.
And we need promotions like this to kind of challenge the status quo that MFN has also built.
We need at least 10 more across.
Every state needs a promotion, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Every state needs a promotion, and then we also need the national promotion, like which challenges MFN. Because right now, if you say anything against MFN, good luck. Your fighters won't fight there, or you won't get access to anything.
Guys from the MFN are going to the UFC, road to UFC.
So you need someone to challenge like
that.
It's just the nature of the free market, na? Ki you have to have competition. That makes a better product. That gives them also a kick in the ass. Ki, okay, I need to improve what I'm doing.
Capitalism. Cool. We'll take a short break and we'll be back in a bit.
Os.
We got this brownie as well from Bunco.
Why, are you guys like planning to fucking make me fat or make me just send me to the
No,
next?
bro, just one brownie won't do anything. And
That's
this
what
is
they all
like,
say.
Yeah, it's like a
One
perfect
brownie, one cigarette, one cocaine.
Nothing now. It's just a brownie.
Alright.
Just one
Okay,
super
let's-
brown brownie, and
Let's have some brown sugar.
let's do it. So this was actually made this morning. He told me, and just fresh batch. What do you think?
Again, same thing as the tiramisu, not super sweet, which is the way I like it. Good job, Saf.
What were you saying about like the quantity as well?
Saf, you win a free PD with me for this delicacy.
Well, for that, he has to come to this side of town.
Yeah, that's on you, bro. you have it. You have it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, NWC happening.
Bro, I think we are missing it right now. Guys,
Yeah.
as we are recording it, most probably Prakhar and Ignormus.
Main event that early? Like,
I think they start early because Nepal थोड़ा सा mountain वाला type का area है ना, तो उधर थोड़ा जल्दी शाम वाम हो जाता है. That's why I think they start early, but we never know. We'll see it later. No problem.
I know you commentated the last NWC.
Bro, so
what was that like?
I'm so angry about that because what these guys did before that specific NWC, all the NWC was free on YouTube, okay, to watch. And when it is free on YouTube, all of the Indian crowd also watches, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in India watches because they have people fighting from India. For that specific one, they took it to their YouTube channel. And not only they took it to their YouTube channel, they made it वो जो होता है ना premium subscription
Yeah,
के
yeah.
अंदर जाके channel का भी subscription लोगे, then you can watch it. So number one, you should have a premium YouTube premium. Number two, you should be subscribed to one of his friends' sports channel, and that subscription was 1,800.
What?
1,800 or 1,600,
Really?
something like this, which is like double of what Netflix charges in India, right? So obviously none of the Indian people watched it, and I commentated. I had such a great time, like just narrating in the whole fight. I felt like I enjoyed it, but then I couldn't show it to nobody. Like nobody came to know. Whereas if it was live on YouTube, we would get like instant ki, bhai, this is how you should commentate in a fight. Because in India, people are used to watching MFN, which like does a very substandard job at commentating.
Dude, it's cringe, the commentary, if I'm being honest. Like,
You have to be honest because everyone says this, ki bhai, it is cringe, but they don't do anything about it.
yeah, like, why would they say that? Like, first of all, they don't understand Jiu Jitsu. So when it's happening, I don't
Or
know.
striking.
Sure.
Or striking. It's like very you should have one guy like that who does not understand anything and still like just plays to the how the crowd would say
Yeah.
things.
Representing
but then
the
you
crowd.
should also have like technical people
Expert.
experts who could like break it down more fluently.
Good mix. Of,
So Joe
Yeah.
Rogan and combination of other guys.
DC though, like, that is a
DC
good.
का भाई थोड़ा सा on and off लगता है. Sometimes I'll be watching a fight and I'll zone out and I'll come back and I'll be like, what is DC yapping about? Like, it's crazy, bro. Me and Rishabh, whenever we tape study, we make sure that when DC comes, we mute it.
Biased.
Yeah, he's biased as well. Everything for him is wrestling. Even if you're doing a jiu-jitsu move, he'll be like, oh, that was a nice high crotch takedown. Yeah.
So let's go back a little. Before Kaizen, before your gym existed, you were a coach at Rebel MMA.
Rebel MMA.
What was the experience there like? Awesome gym, by the way.
Yes, one of
visited.
the most beautiful looking gyms in the
Amazing.
country. It has like amazing space and everything. They did a great job with. Because prior to that, I had trained at Warriors Cove, which was a basement in Gurgaon. Then I had trained at IJJ, which was not a basement. IJJ actually had a good gym in Frasertown, like first floor, second floor. Like we had a balcony and shit, so that was good.
Not the current IJJ gym.
Not the current one, but and before that, then I trained in Cross Train, which was again like a basement gym. So a lot of basement gyms in India, obviously, because they want to save money and still be like, उसको क्या कहते हैं, profitable. They still want to be profitable. So Rebel established this, कि भाई we are giving you like huge, humongous space, train now, okay? So they did a great job with it. My experience coaching there was fantastic because I actually asserted myself in the coach's role for the first time in that position. Before that, I was just like taking a class here, there, in a different academy. I actually started teaching when I was in Bangalore, when I was at IJJ only. I used to teach in this gym at Maratali called FCI. So, Fight Capital India.
I don't think it exists.
Now it has got disbanded actually this year only. and I got like 3-4 students from there who came and joined Kaizen. So I started teaching there, but I asserted myself properly in a coach or a head coach, if you want to call it, role at Kaizen, and I felt like that contributed at Rebel, and that contributed heavily in my growth as a competitor, you want to say, or just as a martial artist as well, because I felt I made a lot of. When you have to teach now, you have to revise that thing over and over again.
Yeah.
When you want, people say, if you want to learn something, teach it to someone. So that really helped me understand whatever I was trying to teach.
You see the holes in your own knowledge.
So that way it was perfect. Even the way I communicated with my students and everything, that improved a lot. Earlier I didn't have the confidence to show, demonstrate technique. Now it has become a second nature kind of, So whatever I am at Kaizen as a product, I think Rebel helped me a lot, like giving me that opportunity. So yeah, good experience.
I used to watch the podcast you had with Rajiv. I would religiously watch that.
Again, that was one of the first podcasts, right? We had the active podcast during that
Great
time in the
setup as well.
Yeah.
So you had
Bro, Rajiv had fucking
Rode mics.
Great studio, Rode mics and all the lights, 3-4 lights. Like it was a very professional setup. In that also we fumbled a lot. Sometimes we painted the wall green just to have like a green screen. Then we added green screen effects and then we were like, nah, maza nahi aa raha hai. So then we went back to like a traditional, just put a logo behind one. So we experimented a lot. It was called Rebel Radio.
Rebel Radio.
Yeah. But that fell apart and I'll blame Rajiv for that because I was super on board.
Yeah.
I was 100% on board कि हर week करना है, लोग सुन रहे हैं. People are again getting to know us, which is a great thing to have in the community.
I would see your numbers. It's awesome.
Yeah. But then his motivation just waned off and then I was like, fuck, I need to continue. I like that medium, And that's when I started MagicmanPod. So I said, Sanjay, bro, come, we'll do the first episode. Sanjay was our first guest and we started like that.
That's crazy. When's the next episode of MagicmanPod coming?
That's a good question. As soon as I have an editor or someone who helps me out, because right now I don't have time for YouTube video editing. Again, that takes a lot of time. I think filming YouTube videos is relatively easier because you just have to talk and then remove empty spaces throughout, right? And but editing and adding like stuff on top of it to make it like more fun to watch, adding images and things like that. That is the more monotonous, laborious part.
If it's just you, it'll probably take weeks, like to put a good video together.
I used to take I was doing this religiously during the last year of my stay at Rebel Gurgaon. And there, my friend used to edit earlier and then I used to edit because he was not like super deep into MMA. So he did not used to
that
get
guy,
some
right?
Joe.
Yeah, I remember. Joe Salad.
Joe Salad. How do you know him?
I would watch MagicmanPod, bro.
Achha, he was also there.
Religiously, yeah, he was on it.
Yeah, he was.
Then you would get into these political debates and all. I remember watching that.
yeah, it was fun times. Joe, if you're watching this, bro, come to Bangalore. Fuck Gurgaon. Nothing good happens in Gurgaon.
+1, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what was I saying? Sorry.
Editing podcast takes a lot of time.
It used to take me around. I used to start at 2 in the evening. And 11 in the night I would finish. Obviously, I don't know the best way to edit. I would just do like whatever I could. But I would just go into this zone where I would forget to eat. Bro, editing is that like addictive,
Engaging.
I feel. Engaging. You just forget whatever things you have in life and you're just zoned in for like 6 7. It's like being on speed, meth, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think you would agree as well. It's like that.
I have like 3 hours, 4 hours of like entire vlog thing. And to edit that 20-minute video, I just sit in the morning, I will get on my...
It just takes like that time. You feel like it's just 20 minutes. Even on my Instagram vlogs that I'm editing right now, it's like a 1 minute entire vlog, right? There's less than 1 minute. But it takes me exactly 1.5, 2 hours. So if I sit at around 3 or 4, I will end at around 7 or something.
And once the flow is made, you don't want it to leave the flow.
Yeah.
The flow is so constant.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of like just have an idea of how you want this to look. And then you just try to get as close to that as possible.
So that's why, like, if I get a good editor, bro, definitely I would be like, YouTube is the place where you can actually like cement yourself. Instagram and all, I've seen a lot of times people's account just goes off, false algorithms suck. But YouTube is very stable. Yeah.
Let's go. That guy.
Instagram has this CEO, I think Mori or something, Sam Mori or something. I don't remember the name. Just write the correct name. but he comes like every week on his
Explains
channel
new I saw
and
that.
tells कि ये करो वो करो और कभी वो काम नहीं करता उसका
No, it
advice.
changes every week. Fuck. He's just...
He says कि no, you
Yeah.
don't want to post every single day. You can do it like thrice a week, but thrice a week channels, bro, don't do good at all unless you have like killer production quality and all. And YouTube rewards this thing where you don't need to have very very high production quality. Even if we have as a small channel, especially
The
if you
content
have
is good, it's good.
content is good and people kind of relate to you if you're a smaller channel making like in a dingy kind of room, mom's basement, that kind of setup.
Yeah, like-
people relate to you, and as you get bigger, you modify your studio, people also like grow with you. They're like your fans from day one kind of.
PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, they all started like
Exactly.
that. And it took them years. Yeah.
There's a theory to trust someone, you need to watch their content for this specific amount of time.
What is that?
So there's a theory like if you want to trust someone, like if you want to
No,
sell
what
something,
amount of time I'm asking? What is the
I
time?
guess it's 100 hours or something. So that particular thing is very hard if you wanted to make content as in terms of reels, but you are consuming directly 6 minutes of one individual time
Yeah.
in a day. So it's comparatively very easy. That's why all the courses which are being launched by YouTubers is very successful as compared to these people who are starting as a reel.
100%. Yeah, YouTube people watch for longer.
It's
All right,
supposed to be. bro.
social media podcast with Peeyush and
It was supposed to be MMA, but we got distracted.
yeah.
Anyway,
But this is important, guys. Like I feel social media today has engulfed our life and everything.
Bro.
Unless you go full yogi mode and ditch your phone, you have to exist in this sphere. So,
yeah, just to even make money now. Like,
bro, you know this guy is Shakti.
yeah.
Work Shakti work.
I've trained with him. I rode
Bro,
with him.
that
He
guy
comes-
inspired me so much. Like when I used to see his Gian edit.
Yeah, his girlfriend, like
GNT.
who he, girlfriend, fiance, whoever.
Yes.
Killer content they made. I think they've reached 10K followers.
They have reached more than 10K.
And then they just stopped.
And then they stopped because now he has collaborated with some of the top social media people.
Yeah.
And he makes content and he gets paid like really well.
Yeah.
That's why he said, yeah, I've stopped focusing.
He comes to Flamengo with a Kaizen rash guard. And all.
He came especially to
Yeah.
collect that, bro. That's so cool.
Shakti is a really cool guy. He
Big
gives
up.
me content tips as well.
Big up,
Like,
yeah.
bro,
All the time, all the
Nice
time.
guy. So, talking about working with Rajiv, Sanjay, you guys organize, I'll go ahead and say it, the best jiu-jitsu tournament in the country. I loved it.
Thank you.
Strangle. I would compete all the time, even though I would lose first round.
He was the only competitor that I saw who lost like first round in all three competitions and still showed up.
The first one, I went like to the semi-finals
Yeah.
and I lost to bloody Ravi Bharti.
The first one gave you the taste of that competing.
First time I ever won a jiu-jitsu match. It felt like the greatest drug ever. Like getting my hand
Did
raised
you
like that.
fight with Prakhar also in that one?
Yeah, I lost.
Yeah.
He did the cartwheel
Pass on
He
you
took
only,
my
right?
back.
Yeah, I
I
remember
should not
that.
have pulled guard with him.
Yeah. You were
That was
doing
a
good
mistake.
before that, but then you just pulled guard and you just
No,
cartwheeled.
he waited for the points to start, and then he just cartwheel passed and didn't matter because he finished
Right.
me. But then I was like, okay, I can win. And then I did all the rest.
When you went to Kolkata, you got armbarred, I guess, first round.
yeah,
Something it was.
one guy
But yeah, man, Strangle was cool. It was a cool project. We did it for a year. What I learned very valuable lesson from that is how do you build a brand in a short amount of time. So it's as easy if somebody has the money and the resources and the time to focus on jiu-jitsu. I heard this on your podcast
Amazing
also with
brand.
the other boys, jiu-jitsu boys. Ki you need competitions in India and there are none. I would
So
say,
dry
I would
right
say, if you are so committed about this lifestyle, jiu-jitsu, and if you really want it to grow, it's not very difficult to find people who will be able to give you money to run like a Strangle level of tournament 4 times a year. You just have to try to find people, make them interested, show them your project vision, things like that. Right now, I could have done that, but right now my whole energy and everything is going into the MMA sphere. And I want to hopefully maybe do a MMA promotion, which is like more spectator friendly and everything. Jiu-Jitsu, I just quit and I am out of the promotion and
Ecosystem,
everything.
yeah.
Ecosystem. I mean, I still teach and train, so I cannot be totally out of
grappling. Right?
Yeah,
But
but
more MMA grappling.
yeah, even in the beginners class, we teach jiu-jitsu, so it's not like I'm completely out. But from the community standpoint, I'm not like too involved in it right now because I'm focusing on other things. But what I'm saying is, in jiu-jitsu, things can be done. You just need like a guy who invests maybe for a year into your vision, and you build a brand out of it. And we'll tell you, we bootstrapped Strangle so much that we did it, I think, under a budget of all our events were under a lakh. Under a lakh.
That's insane.
Like that involved our travel and everything. All we needed to do was book a spot. So we did it for Bangalore, but other places sometimes we hosted in Kolkata we hosted in someone's gym.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you can collaborate that way also with people if you initially don't have money. But Jiu-Jitsu
The gym gets visibility in exchange.
Gym gets visibility, and plus it's so easy. Now you have smooth comp. Just get a smooth comp registration, like a whole tournament set up.
Yeah.
Distribute it in the Indian community. Because there is nothing, people will sign up.
Yeah.
And getting to call like 50, 100 people and getting them to sign up is not a very big task. Me and Sanjay, that was our whole job. So
Yeah,
we used to
people
just
sign up.
call everyone and
You were like on my Instagram DMs regularly, like, Wayne, did you sign up? Wayne, did you sign up? I have no choice but to show up to every Strangle. But yeah, it was super fun, and I kind of miss it. Do you think it's ever coming back?
I mean that depends on Rajiv because that was his
I
brand and
put out
everything.
a reel like calling him out when Strangle coming back, and he's like, we're working on a calendar, and it will be back 2025. So I really hope it is. It's like the number one.
I hope he does that because right now we have ADCC, which is like once a year.
Yeah.
And that also they hosted at such a time when all the prices are super high.
Plus,
They hosted in January, early or
like-
December end. And that also Delhi, you need to always go. Like try to host it in different cities as well.
I liked it when it was in Goa.
Yeah, it's more closer for you guys. But try to host it in different places. Goa, I think they were hosting at that place, no? Kya naam dosto? AK. But now that's shut down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So a lot of things. But what my point was, it's not very difficult to host a jiu-jitsu, make a jiu-jitsu promotion brand in the country right now. You just need to be a little bit more dedicated. And it has to come from within. People who are like the second generation, third generation, like you guys into the jiu-jitsu, they need to come together. Don't rely on people who have been like the first generation, second generation to still carry the boat. They have done whatever they could have done.
To push it
Now it's
as
you
far as
guys
they
to open the gyms, you guys to drive the conversation in the community, you guys to go ahead and create more, competitions of this sort. So if anyone is interested, go ahead, like create a WhatsApp group, start working on an idea, things like that.
Word, for sure. Cool. So let's go further back, even before Rebel MMA. You trained at IJJ, and that was like good, I think 4 years at least.
So I came to Bangalore in 2018, I think mid 2018. I started Jiu-Jitsu in 2017 in
Sure.
Delhi
Yeah, BJJ India.
at
cross-train
BJJ
fight
India.
club.
Arun Sharma was my first coach. Who
The
right
first
now-
Indian black belt.
First Indian black belt. Plus right now he is Rajiv Gandhi's personal coach.
Saw that, bro.
Have you seen?
Yeah.
He's doing like some seminars with him in the wild. So yeah. So that was my first
Sorry,
coach.
Rahul Gandhi. Not
Rahul.
Rajiv Gandhi.
Did you say Rajiv Gandhi? Oh shit.
Bro got assassinated.
Yeah. The
Definitely didn't
the
know
one
the
who
jokes.
is still alive. Okay, so then I was like, why did I move to IJ? Is what I'm coming to the point. So they were not like a very competitive gym. They were a gym ki it's like, Ajao will introduce you to jiu-jitsu. You'll do like Gracie combatives for 2 years straight. If you try to bring up competitions and competing, we'll kind of discourage you. We'll be like, nah, that's not real jiu-jitsu. Real jiu-jitsu is this.
Okay.
And then we'll just not teach you like a lot of new things, new stuff.
This is BJJ India.
Yeah, BJJ India. So I started finding alternatives. So what we had done at that point was I was so obsessed with it. Ki me and Gagan Judge, you might have met him, yeah?
Goa, he has a gym.
Yeah, not Goa. He was in Manipal teaching now. Now he has gone back to Delhi.
Yeah.
Earlier he was in Goa
He
actually.
taught in Tribal Warriors.
Tribal Warriors, yes. So he used to be my flatmate in Delhi.
Okay.
And we put this mat space and we were like, okay, let's learn jiu-jitsu ourselves because at class nobody is teaching us.
Done.
So we started downloading these. That time, 2018, Ryan Hall's DVDs were like the Danaher's DVD. Danaher had just come into the scene with his DVD. So everyone who was 2017 and before was using Ryan Hall. So we downloaded all this stuff and we started to practice, and that's how we started to improve. Then we were like, okay, we need to find a place where you can go and apply in these things on other people. So I tried going to cross train, but that time they had just 1 day gi, and I was like more of a gi competitor back then. Gi was the real jiu-jitsu back then actually. No gi scene hadn't become so huge.
Now you're completely the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. So how the tables have turned, right?
Yeah.
So
There's no gi in your gym, right? Like
No ghee right now.
no
No ghee at all.
No
Sorry,
ghee, yeah.
it's difficult to even say. What do you do? We don't do ghee. We do
ghee at all. Yeah.
So,
Get it.
so we tried to search for a gym there who did a lot of ghee, but even at CrossFit there was like 3 times a week jiu-jitsu, and 2 of those classes were no ghee. 1 was just ghee. So I was like, this is not cutting it for me. No ghee is bullshit. I don't like no ghee. I want to do ghee.
Yeah.
So then Gagan came once to Bangalore to meet his girlfriend, and I said, "Ki bro, they talk a lot about this gym called IJJ. Just go and check it out." So he went and checked it out, and he was like, he came back with the review saying, "Bro, this is the best gym.
Rohit Vasudevan.
Yeah, they train every single day, twice a day." When I heard twice a day, I was like, "Bro, I'm in. I'm moving. I'm shifting next month." And that's what I did. I just packed up. Next month I was out. I was here, and actually I went to IJJ for like a trial stint. I went for 15 days, and right after that there was a competition back in Delhi, SJJIF, in which IJJ guys were also coming for.
Yeah.
So then I competed in that and I won gold. There were like 3 or 4 people in my division. I won gold. That was my first competition
Was
ever.
Devesh in your division back then?
No, Devesh was not in my division. He was like more heavier, I guess. I was in the middleweight.
Then you caught up.
No, he was in the blue belt. He was a blue belt back then.
Oh, yeah. And you were still a white belt.
I was still a
because
white
you didn't
belt.
Get graded yet.
Yeah. So he competed in the blue belt. So basically, I got to gel with the team during that comp as well. They helped me out. Rohit cornered me and everything. So I was like, okay, these guys are good. Vibe is good. Training is good. Let's go. And they swept the whole tournament as well. So that was another added incentive. The best team in Jiu-Jitsu. So that's when I moved out in 2018, and then I stayed till COVID hit. When COVID hit, everything went to a full stop. And then I was like, which teams are training in the country right now? Right now. And right before COVID hit, we did a tournament called ADCC 2020. And there I met Warriors Cove guys, and they contacted me for a podcast. They actually were starting this podcast called Leverage Radio.
Yeah.
Leverage Radio.
I've listened to that as well.
So I think I was their second guest. First was with Ashwin only, and I was the first guest for that podcast.
Crazy.
So I have been actually the first guest for a lot of podcasts. Even Sid had a lockdown.
So that's it?
Yeah, he had a lockdown with Sid. So I was like the first guest of that podcast. First or second guest. That was way back in 2017. So, coming back to point. So COVID hit, and then I was like, where are we training or not? So in the podcast, I asked these guys, are you guys training? They said, yeah, we are doing secret closed door training. Don't tell anyone. If you want to come and train, come. So me and Bira were like the most agitated one. We were like, oh, we cannot train anywhere here. Let's go and train. So me and Bira left for 3 months. Went to Gurgaon, stayed there. Bira was like, nah, North India is not for me. He came back. I was like, okay, I will stay. Because the room was good. I really liked the level of training there. And yeah, that's my Jiu-Jitsu timeline.
Got it, man. Like what you did, like moving across the country, training wherever you can. I know there are a lot of people who are listening, they would also like to do that. How do you like support yourself, like pay the bills while you're also training?
So initially, like when I did it, obviously my parents supported it when I was like in the early 20s, 2021 when I moved out. But then I had to find a job. So this is something that is the bitter reality. You have to go and start teaching, take PTs, do whatever you can to do money, maybe help in the gym, somehow monetize it. So I did that, and at the same time, like prior to the Jiu-Jitsu scene, I was doing magic, right? Magicman.
Yeah,
that's how the name
origin story
is.
of the name.
Yeah. So I had saved some money through those gigs and things like that. So that helped me sustain. And it took me like 2 to 3 years where I like got a teaching job where I was in a position to teach Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Because you can't start teaching in the first day, right? So have some savings in India, or have rich loaded parents, which I didn't have.
Yeah.
So have that, or
Trust fund.
yeah, or just like find a way, bro. Like I think if you just make the move first, figure out things later, it happens more. It's way easier than you just sit and think, "Bhai, yahan se nikalna hai, kya karunga?" You can always find opportunities. You know.
If you really want it, the pieces will fall.
Yeah.
In space.
And this is what I think should happen in MMA community also right now in the country. A lot of these kids, as I said, they are in random places, unable to train. So they have to make that pilgrimage. And I give a great example to my guys, what Danner used to give about GSP. GSP was a guy from Montreal, Canada. He used to travel. Yeah, he used to travel from there all the way to New York to the Blue Basement to train.
Pay the toll.
Yeah.
and all that.
So you have to do that, bro. Unfortunately, that's the reality. Figure out a way, raise money, go put yourself on those kaun sa Kickstarter, kya website hota hai? GoFundMe.
Yeah, that's the reality. At least in the come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, building.
Not because people don't care like how you made it if you just make it, right? So just put whatever, be shameless in the beginning, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So you went to IJJ. What was training with Coach Rohit like?
Bro, those were like, I feel like the golden years of IJJ, the Frasertown ones. Because we used to go in the morning, train 2-3 hours, then go home, sleep in the evening, back again. So it was just like we hanging out throughout the day and beach mein ghar chale aate the. ठीक है? And that place was also so cool. We had a balcony outside. We would sit outside.
Yeah.
Do
I heard the stories.
there were monkeys, so it was so friendly with nature. Like it was very organic.
Imagine doing jiu-jitsu in that setting, like with.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I loved it. That's why I stayed there for 3 years without thinking about कि और आगे क्या करना है. I was like, this is my life now.
Yeah, I think you saw the maximum growth, like at least in the early stages there, like training with those guys. Yeah, a lot of those guys, like I don't even know if they train anymore. Like, of course, Bira still trains.
Bira still trains. Devesh trains. Bile is the one of the core guys who left.
He used to come for like every Thursday open mat.
Oh, now he's coming?
Like when I was training there.
I haven't seen him since.
I think he started his own place also.
That's where Nihal is teaching, right?
Indie Flow.
Yeah.
Somewhere so.
We went there. We trained in his house also during COVID, like the initial phases. But then that also got shut. So
there was one guy called John Fernandez.
John, he was the co-owner of the place, I guess, the Frasertown one. So yeah, John, how are you, bro? Yeah, he was a cool guy, bro.
Yeah, I've trained with him. Like on my first day at IJJ, he asked me, "Do you want to roll?"
Yeah.
And then I rolled with him, just guillotine my soul into the next.
Not even jiu-jitsu, but what IJJ brought different perspective for me was the kind of people that I met. Because when I was training in Delhi, all the people that I was meeting was the same kind of, demographic. Same demographic, same language, same cultural references and everything. Because I was also from North. But when I came here, meeting people from all these different parts, there was a guy who used to come, I forgot his name. He was like cycling, barefoot cycling, doing all the things.
I forgot his name as well. I met him at a seminar.
Yeah.
That IJJ hosted.
So they were like
he
so
wouldn't
different
wear shoes.
guys. He wouldn't wear shoes. He would just come. Bro, I would say, bro, wash your feet before you're stepping on the mat. At least because they're carrying. Yeah, we trained with him in IJJ Frasertown. So there were guys like him and then other cool guys like who would just, and even people dropping from different parts of the world to Bangalore and just training at IJJ. So that was a cool experience. We used to have like brown belts when we were white belts to train with sometimes.
Yep. You know Avinash?
Avinash and Amulya.
Design weapons, right?
Yes.
Like or something strategic.
I don't know.
Something like that.
I thought he was in some crypto or
no, bro. Like I think like design weapons and.
He was also an aerospace engineer, no? Like coach.
Something of that nature. And Amulya is a designer, and like you find people from all different walks of life who just happen to have the same interest of strangling each other out. And that's what kept me hooked. Like this guy, for example, Bunco. He starts a bakery now. Hopefully he comes back to training. Saif, come back whenever. Yeah. But
this new crop of people I haven't trained with, like your crop, your generation.
A lot of them, like it's sad because like life came in between. Now they just don't train at all. Yeah. I would say like I didn't train for most of last year, but as soon as you can, just like even once a week is something. Right now I can do 3 times a week. I'll build from there. But
this is how Jiu-Jitsu guys try to preach and get you back into their cult.
You gotta come back. You know how it always ends up in a Jiu-Jitsu cult. I just have to get you.
पिछले episode maybe with all those guys.
Bro, none of those guys.
Ravi, tu kab aa raha hai?
He said 18 December never came.
People who go, they never come back. So let it go and just focus on new people,
For sure.
Get newer people in your cult.
I won't give up though. Ravi, Saif, please come back. So you train at multiple gyms in the country. Yeah. I asked these guys the last episode, guess the question, top 5 gyms in the country. A lot of them couldn't really answer that.
I think that top 5 is my top 5 as well. They said Warrior Scope, Cross Train, Kaizen, that's the number 1.
Of course.
Then Flamingo, IJJ obviously right there. So yeah, these are top 5, top 6 gyms. I think like there are other gyms as well.
Sure.
That's like an MMA gym. You asked Jiu Jitsu gym, no?
Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah.
Pure
So in
BJJ.
Jiu Jitsu, I would say these are the top 5 gyms.
Got it, man. Cool, you have it. Magic Man Peeyush's top 5 gyms in the country. We'll take a quick break and then we'll be back for the final part of the episode. You've been practicing jiu-jitsu mostly for a long time. Someone who's just starting out, how do you get better quickly at jiu-jitsu?
What helped me, I'll just tell that because I feel that specific part people miss a lot. So not just doing jiu-jitsu, but thinking about jiu-jitsu, the mental work, okay? Not only the physical work. So you have to do the mental work. What is that mental work? Watching fights. Trying to study where you are not good at. So these are things will make you faster, make you improve much faster. And just embracing the whole culture and the lifestyle of it, you know. Like कि क्या चल रहा है अपने community में, वहाँ के top लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या नहीं कर रहे. अभी तो मतलब बहुत ही convoluted हो गया है. Like you'll just see autistic and gay memes about the community. So that's what we have been introduced to. But
Craig Jones,
yeah, in general, you want to embrace yourself more with whatever you are doing.
Embrace the lifestyle.
Yeah, and that will just help you develop faster. And I see some people like embracing the lifestyle का मतलब उनको लगता है कि वो रैश गार्ड खरीद लिया क्रेग जोन्स का और ये fuck क्रेग जोन्स ये पहन लिया. So उससे नहीं होगा. Like you have to actually like delve deeper कि अच्छा okay, let's say for example a move rear naked choke. Who did it first? Like where does this move originate from? Like इसका ये नाम क्यों पड़ा ऐसा? मतलब these are nerdy things that you can get into, which will just like now you'll be watching 10 different style of RNCs. Or just for example, I'm saying RNC तो ऐसे सबका same ही होगा. But you're watching like 10 different people do that moves variations.
Yeah.
Now you'll have much different perspective about that move. So ये सारी चीजें I think will help you a lot. Watching instructionals is a big one. Because I feel like a lot of people don't have the mental stamina, which I like to call it, for watching.
Especially a John Danaher instructional.
Danaher, and if you think Danaher is bad, watch Gordon's instructional.
It was?
It's like difficult to watch because he throws like 50 different techniques that you like in the first hour itself. But if you have developed the passion or the stamina for it to watch and note and then drill it and then try to apply it in the roles, that's the only way to get better in my opinion, okay? So watch a lot of fights, study a lot of instructionals, embrace yourself with the lifestyle, and yeah, that will help you improve faster. Basically obsess about it like anything.
You still watch instructionals?
I haven't watched a Jiu-Jitsu instructional in a long time, although I did get a Gordon guillotine, mastering the guillotine one recently. I'll watch that next. But I used to. I think I have watched almost all the instructionals produced by almost all the teachers. And I used to have like a notebook, like multiple notebooks of all these systems just jotted down. But unfortunately, when I was making this shift from Delhi to here, I hired a company which just misplaced all of my 3-4 years of written notes. I didn't get it back. Like it just got
Packers and Movers?
Yeah, Packers.
A well-known company that
I don't know. It was a friend's recommendation who was in Gurgaon, but yeah, I lost it and I have no idea where it is. I think it is in some random person's place, just eating dust.
Yeah, because they won't even understand what's written. It'll have no value.
I gave up on it. I was
Could have
like,
been a
okay,
book.
It's fine.
Could have been a book. So, what's the best instructional you ever watched? Is it one John Danaher?
So the one instructional which I really have fond memories about, which really helped me like become slick, I would say, in my guard passing was Jason Rao. Jason Rao's instructional. It was called dynamic guard passing at that point. Okay. In that that time Gordon had brought out his float passing system, जो उसका पहला था, systematically passing the guard. So Jason Rao just condenses all the stuff, basically what Gordon and Danaher teach in like 8 hours in a 2 hours video.
That's crazy.
Okay, and he is also someone who has trained with them in the blue basement, and Gordon actually used to call him like the second best guy in the room.
Okay.
Technically after him. So his all the instructionals are gold in my opinion, and
He puts out good stuff on Instagram.
His Instagram is crazy as well. Like he has done a lot of development work on Instagram as well. So watch Jason Rao if you cannot watch Danaher. I think like he gives a lot of valuable information. So his dynamically passing the guard, ऐसा ही कुछ नाम था. It was released back in 2018. वो देखा था मैंने. और उसके बाद 100% credit to Danaher, credit to Gordon, because my whole game is based around their systems. So almost every DVD that they put out on half guard, whether it is mount, whether it is back, I've seen all of them, and my game has developed a lot from all of these DVDs. So yeah,
Awesome.
I would say watch all of these DVDs if you can, if you really have the patience for.
Yeah, for sure.
If not, just watch the first 6 Danaher DVDs that came out, which was the front headlock system. All the
Go further faster?
Enter the system.
Right after that.
No, it was before. It was the first series that he released. Enter the system. Uske baad aaya Go Further Faster.
Okay.
And Enter the System was full nogi. So it was first was the leg locks. और वो जब leg locks आया भी था तो उसका audio शायद खराब हुआ था. So they re-uploaded it and brought out the second one.
Remastered.
Yeah, remastered wala. So it was the leg locks. Then it was I think back attacks. Then front headlock. Then he released one on arm bars. Then triangle chokes. और एक और था kimuras. So these are the 6 systems that he says that all his athletes are consistently just moving in between. So if you learn these 6 systems, you'll have so many pathways that you'll never feel lost in your jiu-jitsu game. Because your kimura will connect to your back take, your back will connect to your arm bars, your arm bar, you can enter the legs. Like you can just run circle around your opponent.
Yeah.
And then add a passing DVD on top of it. So Gordon's passing DVDs are the best actually in my opinion. So
Pretty cool. Cool. So we'll move on to the UFC. I'm gonna name the current champions that we have since it is early 2025 still.
yeah.
So I'll name them. I'll go like weight class wise.
Let's do this. Name a weight class, I'll tell you the champion.
Okay. And then you tell me who you predict December 2025
Will be
the
Achha,
champ.
achha, okay.
Change. Or if it doesn't change, you
Let's
think.
see, yeah.
Okay. BMF.
BMF Justin Gaethje को आगे Max Holloway बना, but Max Holloway just got destroyed by Ilya Topuria.
BMF wasn't on the line though.
Yeah, it wasn't, but BMF, I think Max Holloway. So Max Holloway is saying that he will stay at 155, right? He'll stay in the lightweight.
Yeah.
So I think he will fight maybe Dustin Poirier. Can he fight him? He has fought him once before.
Yeah.
But they can fight again because
Like Dustin wants to do fun fights now, right?
Dustin's career is also now not going for the championship anymore. So I think they will have a fight. And if they fight, I definitely think Dustin can replace him as the BMF. You never know.
I think so as well.
It was the first fight he really
skilled.
fought well.
Yeah, that Islam fight was awesome.
Islam fight also he pushed him until the end, but yeah.
Crazy. Cool. Moving on. UFC strawweight. Who's the strawweight champion?
Strawweight in female you're asking?
Yeah.
यार female का याद नहीं है, sorry.
Zhang Weili.
Zhang Weili ना? Zhang Weili और एक और division है ना female का?
Yeah, flyweight.
Flyweight में कौन है?
Valentina Shevchenko.
The Bullet, yeah. So I think Valentina might remain unless she retires. Actually, Valentina got beat by one of the other girls with an RNC, if you remember, like recently.
That was last year.
Last year, no?
I can't remember who though.
Yeah. But so she has that good competitor. But yeah, female divisions, I don't follow it as much. I just see it like usually they have like 1 or 2 female fight also on the card, right? So you can't really track ki kaun chal raha hai. But the last 2 division winners were like really pathetic. That's what I remember. I think they've changed, bro. Just check once. I think they've changed the female divisions. Someone else won.
There is a bantamweight as well.
There's a bantamweight, no?
Raquel Pennington.
Yeah, this is the shittiest division in my opinion. Raquel Pennington is not a great champion, and even the girl she fought with for the title was a very boring fight.
Got it.
So yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the men's division.
Yeah, let's go. That sounds so misogynistic.
Bro, we get cancelled. Superset ends with episode 5.
Dude, I love Fionn Davis, so that'll make up for all of it.
Okay, flyweight. We have Alexandra
Pantoja. I think he stays, bro. He just beat that Japanese sensation. Kya naam tha? Asakura Ayasa, no?
Yeah, good fight as well.
So he took him out. I think he remains, bro. He has a great pace, good takedown style, so he will stay there.
Bantamweight, we have Mirab.
Bantamweight, bro. Mirab is already a GOAT in my opinion, and he's not going to get beat anytime soon because Umar was definitely his toughest test. He already beat Sean O'Malley with very convincing victory. So I don't think Mirab is going to get beat, but I want to see fun fights for Mirab, which will be Mirab versus Corey Sandhagen. Corey, the great talent in that division. I want to see Mirab versus Peter Yan again. Let's see if Peter Yan can this time change things around. The first time he was like just got broken, like just how Umar got broken.
Yeah.
So Mirab is going to stay the champ at the end of the year. That's my prediction.
Mirab came on the Bare Biceps podcast, by the way.
Really? Oh, when he came to India, no?
Yeah,
I
he did the
know.
Bare Biceps.
He did some random wrestling also on the beach. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, he spoke about that on the podcast.
It's just
Yeah.
random some chai wala ya chana wala ko pakad ke
He's like, I didn't know I have so many fans in India.
Crazy.
Like, pretty cool.
Indian people are fan of every white people, so he does not have to go so
From
far.
Georgia. Like, yeah.
But white skin ना
Sure.
चलेगा. उनको क्या पता जॉर्जिया है कि यूएस है.
Okay, featherweight. We have Ilya Topuria.
Ilya Topuria is planning to move to 155. He was talking about, but Ilya versus Volk rematch will be a good fight. I don't see Ilya getting beat in featherweight. Ilya versus Diego Lopez also they are saying, but I think Diego Lopez gets knocked out by Ilya. Ilya is that good.
Do you think Ilya can beat Islam?
I definitely think that he can because he has the power in his hands, and whenever you're fighting a guy who has power in his hands, plus he has such a crisp boxing as Ilya, the only thing that Islam can do in that fight is try to take him down, and I think his takedown defense holds up against Islam.
You see that tweet? This is what happens when Dagestani wrestling meets Georgian wrestling.
Yes. So I think he can beat. He is the only guy who can beat in 145 and 155 right now. Islam. Arman ho sakta tha, but we haven't seen him, so we don't know. Yeah. Especially after his performance against Charles Oliveira, which was like barely making it.
Yeah, got it. Okay, we have lightweight Islam. Does he remain champ this year? He'll fight one more time, he said, October.
Islam is not getting beat, bro, for sure.
Charles Oliveira?
Nah.
No?
Islam
Charles
submits him again if possible.
That's heartbreaking, bro. I love Charles.
I used to like him, but I think his chin has gotten so weak I cannot bet money on him. Every single fight he gets knocked down.
I think, doesn't he like just pull guard kind of? Like he gets hit and he just...
No, he gets knocked down and then he has no other choice but to play guard, right? And in Islam's fight also the same thing happened, but Islam said, fuck your Jiu Jitsu, I'll show you some Sambo.
Arm triangle.
An arm triangle, dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The champ has a name and it's Charles Oliveira. Okay.
But I love the story of Charles Oliveira and everything. Like the way he stayed in UFC for 10 years, struggled, from a nerd became like a likable fighter and everything. It was
Even
cool.
like his start, right, his childhood, doctors said he'll never like do anything. Like he can't even play football, which is like all he wanted to do.
Then
And
Jiu Jitsu gave him a new life.
yeah. Then UFC like eventually signed him, and then he was on a losing streak. Then he started winning, and then champ.
Yeah. Great
Super
story.
inspiring. Moving on, welterweight Bilal Muhammad. Remember the name?
So Bilal has actually kind of spoiled things for Islam because Islam
They
had
can't
plans
fight
of
each other.
becoming
Same
a
camp.
2-division champion, but now they can't fight. Imagine how sad you will be if you have plans to become like a legacy fighter and then your opponent just comes to your camp, becomes friends with you and is like, hey bro, I'll go and try to win the title, and he actually wins it.
That seems strategic.
And now you can't go and compete against him. So I think if UFC makes that fight, he should definitely take that fight, but I don't think they will. They are like two brotherly love kind of.
Yeah. Same
So-
corner guy also, no?
So Bilal, who is he going to fight next? I think Khamzat, right?
Yes.
That's the fight they're making.
Yeah.
Bro, that is going to be a good fight. I feel like Khamzat should become the champion at the end of the year,
And then Islam versus Khamzat.
and then Islam will. Oof, what a fight! What a fight!
That'll be awesome.
Inshallah.
Hopefully Bilal remember the name. Gets beaten.
Yeah. Bilal gets forgotten by everyone. Remember that security guard thing? He tried to enter in his jumpsuit and they were like, hey.
Remember the name. Okay. This one is good. Middleweight, we have Drishis Duplessis.
Dricus Duplessis. Bro, so you can never bet against a guy as unorthodox as him. Because everyone thought, okay, first was a fluke against Sean Strickland. Izzy will show him what it is. But then he beats Izzy so convincingly, chokes him out. I mean, yeah, right now he's going to fight Sean Strickland again.
Second time. Sean tweeted, let's just be men and stand up.
And you saw the reply what he gave. He said, a pact is made between men, not men and lions.
Yeah, that's from that Troy.
Acha, that's what. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
the
I thought some gladiator shit is that.
Achilles said it. Brad Pitt.
Okay,
Troy.
okay.
Then
Cool reference.
yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty badass.
But yeah, I think he beats Sean Strickland against.
He stays champ.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, most of these guys remain.
Most of these guys.
These champs.
Because all of these champions, if you see the common thread, all of them are like either unorthodox or they are like really, really strong grapplers who have become well-rounded, or vice versa. Like even Ilya started as a strong grappler and then became good at boxing. Islam started as a strong grappler, became good at striking. Pantoja, great striker, a great wrestler, does not need anything else. Jiu-Jitsu guy, great, does not need anything. Merab, great wrestler, does not even need anything else. So all these guys have styles which are tough to beat. You can go dominate a striker who has never been tested in their takedown defense if you're a good wrestler, but against a wrestler, what you'll do, you can only knock them out, and if you can't land that lucky punch, you just lose in a decision. So difficult to beat them.
Light heavyweight, we have Alex Pereira. He's fighting soon.
So Alex Pereira is going to fight
That Russian guy.
Ankalaev.
Yeah.
Ankalaev is his biggest test because people say his grappling hasn't been tested yet as much, and Ankalaev can. But here's the kicker that Ankalaev is saying that I'll strike with him, which in my opinion is the most stupid thing to do against Alex Pereira. And he wants you to strike with him, obviously. So I just hope he's just saying just to like go on the day and just fool him and start to wrestle. But if he wrestles, I think he might win. But in the recent times, we have seen Alex Pereira also working really hard on his grappling. He's going to these teams like the Fighting Nerds and all other places and doing grappling, trying to improve. He trains with Glover Teixeira, so hopefully his jiu-jitsu game on bottom is good. And we have seen him getting taken down by Adesanya a few times.
Who's not really known for his takedowns.
Yeah, but the way he recovered and everything, I felt he has the basic understanding. But against a high-level wrestler, it works or not, we gotta see.
We'll find out for sure.
Yeah. But if people can't take him down, bro, they are so toast.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I hated how this guy fought him, Khalil round 3. He just kept striking with a elite level, world-class
He was
striker.
getting lit up, bro.
Bro, just add one single takedown to your game, bro. This is a mixed martial arts fight. This is not a kickboxing fight.
You see Khalil released a song after losing to him. A rap song.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's crazy. Insane.
That's what your career becomes after getting stoned by Pereira.
Last one, heavyweight. John Jones. He beat Tom Aspinall.
Bro, so I think this one is the most doubtful one because if Tom Aspinall fights John Jones, I'll still pick John Jones to win just because he's such a great fighter. But if anyone can give him a serious challenge at this point of his career where he's going downhill and other people are uphill, Tom Aspinall is the guy because he's super fast for a heavyweight. He has very, very legit grappling and he has like ferocious knockout power. And he's big also, like as big as, I think bigger than Jones.
He's bigger. Yeah, guy.
So if they fight, I feel like Tom Aspinall can become the champion at the end of the year. So I think we just have one now, one person.
If it even happens, bro.
No, it will happen. Dana said that it will happen.
It's happening for sure.
Yeah, he was asking for 30 million, but Dana said, okay, we have convinced him.
30 million?
John Jones was asking for 30 million.
Yeah, but is he getting 30 million?
I mean, he deserves it at this point. He has been if you're the GOAT in any sport, don't you deserve 30 million?
I think it's the last one though.
Tom Brady gets more than 30 million per year, right?
And this is the UFC, the pinnacle of fighting.
So yeah.
Pound for pound rankings, we have Islam as number 1. Do you think he keeps that spot?
I think he keeps that spot, bro. Because who is below him? John Jones, right? So if John Jones beats Aspinall, he becomes number 1.
Yeah.
But if Islam just dominates like a couple of other guys in the division, he just stays.
If he beats Aspinall, like, no argument.
Then he should just retire on the spot as the greatest MMA fighter ever.
And just like...
Because after that, there should be no conversation.
Right off into the sun. Because there'll always be like some new guy coming up. Then, I can beat John Jones.
Then Dana will stand vindicated. Be like, I told you guys, he was the number 1
Lock anyone in a room with John Jones? John Jones is coming out of that room.
Who comes out? No, it's crazy because John Jones, the guy he beat with those downward elbows, 12-6, Matt Hamill.
Was ruled out.
Matt Hamill, yeah, that as well. But this Matt Hamill guy, who is now probably CTE, is now coming out of the woods and he's saying, I think if I get locked in the room with John Jones, I come out.
Bro.
Probably only if you have a machine gun. Otherwise, you are not coming out alive.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, moving on to the final part. Q&A. So I put out your picture, asked people to ask questions. There's quite a few questions.
I saw some questions, bro. First of all, fuck David.
He's probably fighting right now.
Bro, I don't know why these motherfuckers are trying to portray me as the next Craig Jones of Indian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, everyone's like, you are gay, you are gay. I'm not, brother. Guys, relax.
We'll get to David's question.
Yeah.
But, Naveen, like rant on ecological approach. Like, okay, what do you think of the ecological approach?
That's a whole podcast in itself, by the way.
I was watching an episode with Rohit Vasudevan. You asked him about the ecological approach. And he was like, what is that?
Yeah, so ecological. So here's the whole point about ecological. Whatever explanation I give, the people who say that they are ecological guys, they will say that no, you don't know what you're talking about. So anytime you try to explain, if you're not in that cult, they'll say, okay, you don't know what you're talking about. And when I try to watch to understand what they are saying, especially the godfather of ecological approach, Greg Souders, who started this whole thing, he's the head coach of Standard Jiu-Jitsu in US, which has some decent competitors out of there who are winning in the local circuit. So he is just so convoluted when he talks about like whole ecological approach. He'll be like, if you listen to him for 10 minutes, usko kehte hain na word salad.
Yeah.
Sirf word salad bana ke you tell like 10, 12 different big words and then you're like, oh, this is it, and you guys don't know it because you haven't studied it.
Yeah.
So that's my number one gripe with it, that they want to be too verbose with like simplistic stuff. And what is ecological approach? So basically what they call is, पहले हम लोग positional sparring करते थे, ठीक है? Where let's say we choose to start from side control instead. Full sparring नहीं करेंगे. We want to just start from side control.
Position and work on that position.
Yeah, so that we are forced into that position and we have like 10 different options that we can execute and we'll do that. Yeah. But let's say we are starting from side control. I should have a basic understanding of a Kimura. If I want to attack from side control, I should have a basic understanding of a Americana. If I want to attack from side control, or maybe I should have basic understanding of advancing position, like mounting them from side control or going knee on belly, things like that, right?
Yeah.
So these are different skills or moves that you need to learn to effectively positional spar in side control. And this is true for every other position, right? Now what these guys say is ki no, don't drill all those things prior, don't build the knowledge of it prior, just put two people in the side control and now you just tell them, give them specific task, even more specific task, ki you want to hold side control. Let's say if that's the strategy, then just keep yourself like in this angle, look to win under the armpit controls. They won't even call it the underhooks at some point. They'll be like stay under the inside their elbows and try to keep a head at shoulder position and just do these three things and just try to hold the position. That is a more specific round to your positional sparring. You get what I'm saying?
That's like positionals with more steps.
Positionals with more, they call it, what's that word? Constraints. So they call it a constraint-based approach, which in my opinion is a great way to make your positional sparring more and more effective. Or if you just want to drill that specific
target.
For example, winning underhook from side control.
Yeah.
Right? So you can win it by either pummeling or you can win it if they are trying to win an underhook and then you put your head in there and win the elbow pummel again, or you force the Kimura and when they pull the hand out you have an underhook, things like that, right?
Yeah.
So they just become more specific with the positional sparring, and that's what, in my opinion, from my understanding, is the ecological approach. And this is how you can create they term it as games. They don't call it positional spars.
Jiu Jitsu games.
They call it Jiu Jitsu games. So now they'll make a game out of, like, let's say a guard passing position. You want to either go under their legs, you want to turn their legs around, or you want to go through the legs. All those things like which we have studied at some point of time. But my problem with ecological approach is that unless people have the basic skill set of how a knee cut looks like, let's say, right? Of how to base themselves properly in the knee cut position, you can't just expect them to learn it on their own. And if you expect them to learn it on their own while doing this discovery process in ecological, it will just take more time. It takes 5 minutes or like a class to teach them about good positioning on the knee cut. And if you have that information and now I ask you to do that same constraint-based approach, okay, you are trying to pass his guard. If his legs are wide open, you slide through it into a knee cut, right? So if you have that prior understanding of the knee cut position, it will be easier for you to go there. Versus Ki, okay, you just have to find this opening and now place yourself there and see what happens.
So drilling is important.
Yeah,
Like it has
and this approach works better for those guys, the guys
kind
who are
of know
doing it, because they are trying to apply it on most of their upper belt guys.
Yeah.
So like the black belts are training, the purple belts are training. So they already have that basic understanding because at some point of their life they have drilled it.
Even work with beginners.
Even Greg Souders, he has drilled it at some point of time, right? What I like about this approach is it really calls out the bullshit drills that BJJ has inbuilt, okay? And this comes from Brazilian influence where you'll see a lot of cardio-based drilling, which people adopt as real drilling. जैसे वो देखिएगा leg drag करते रहते हैं लोग, one side, two side, one side, two side. Okay, so that is a completely bullshit way to drill a leg drag because again now you're not getting any reaction.
You're not getting the technique down.
Specific. You're just doing it like multiple times, and if you do the wrong technique also multiple times, that's a big risk that you'll build bad habits. So it calls out that mentality of Jiu-Jitsu, which I really like. That's the plus point about it. The negative point is that they just become very verbose or they practice this elitism. If you're not doing this, you are uneducated. You are still in the stone age of Jiu-Jitsu culture. So it's just like glorified positional sparring in my opinion, or more specific sparring.
Got it. Cool.
All right, Eco Bros, sorry for that. Don't sue me.
Next question, Gary. Do you have any plans to compete in the future?
This is a great question because I get this a lot. So last competition I did was ADCC, ADCC Singapore, wo trials wala. And I lost in the first round there. And then I realized कि भाई Jiu-Jitsu में अगर मैं 10 साल भी अभी लगा दूँ तो अगर मैं ADCC World Championship भी पहुँच गया, what's the reward for that?
Were you gonna fight Isaac in that?
I was gonna fight and thankfully I didn't. Thankfully I didn't because that motherfucker was a monster that day.
Yeah.
He went and destroyed his whole division, bro. And was so strong, so physically, and I was looking like a kid in front of him.
Was he like a big guy in person?
Very big. He was like super roided, super jacked.
88 kg class.
Yeah, 88 kg. He cuts like 10 kg, 12 kg body weight.
Like
to
100
compete.
kg guy actually.
So, and he has gotten super skills since the time he spent with Craig and all that. So, then that didn't happen. I went against Kaya Rudolph, who was the guy from Lachlan's gym only. You will see him in a lot of instructionals that Lachlan has made. But he was also training at B team, and these guys are like doing good shit with the leg locks. So, I tried to pass his guard. He tried to attack me with a double leg. I gave him the back, and from there I tried to hit that foot trip. We ended up on the bottom, and then we disengaged. I ended up on the top because I did that hook removal and put him onto the bottom half guard. And he's like super flexible, like the gumbiest of Gumby Jiu-Jitsu guy I know. Because उसका एक video है जिसमें Lachlan Giles is trying to heel hook him, and his heel is turning like this 90 degree up, and his toe is turning all the way down 180 degree almost, and still like nothing is happening to him. So I knew कि heel hook ये सब इसको कर नहीं सकते. Let's just guard pass and hold him. Sure. And I tried to spam guard passes on him and north, south, east, but he's so flexible, he kept inverting and he got me into a outside Ashi position. I was like, I'm safe. And then with me, like personally, what happens is that my tournament timing is low because I haven't competed as much in the last couple of years. So I know the right things to do. I know how to escape the cross Ashi, the Ashi, everything. But that timing is a factor where like you become a little bit relaxed, you become a little bit lackadaisical, and that's where people fish it. And now you have to choose between trying to escape or spending 7 months, 8 months out in surgery, right? So after that, I had this kind of conversation with myself ki, okay, even if I go to dedicate my entire life to Jiu-Jitsu at this point, what are the rewards? I felt like the rewards in Jiu-Jitsu in general are not as much. Number one, because it's not a very spectator-friendly sport, so the money and anything that you want to generate from it will always be like limited. People who have won ADCC championships, people don't know about them, or they are not making any money.
They do instructionals like.
And at the end of the day, everyone opens the gym, right?
Yeah.
Everyone opens the gym. So I was like, why not open the gym just right now?
Get there faster. Yeah.
And also, I was at the same time transitioning towards MMA and trying to learn like more and more wall wrestling and everything, the other parts of grappling which is not like very Jiu-Jitsu specific, and I had dedicated already like 1.5 years at that point in that. So I thought, okay, let's just take MMA seriously, and if we can build, and if I can use my jiu-jitsu or the grappling skill set that I've acquired to help out the MMA fighters reach a higher level, I feel like that will be a better payoff for me, both financially and both like as a कोई अगर UFC में जा रहे हो और कोई ADCC में जा रहे हो, बहुत difference है bro. Like UFC is the real fighting shit, ना?
Yep.
और jiu-jitsu at the end of the day, I started kind of so क्या कहते हैं, getting disillusioned by it also कि इतना guard pulling है, इतना inverted. You are just spending a big chunk of your life in super unrealistic positions in jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, which you will not even like face in a real life scenario, right? So I feel nerding out in such a niche sport for your
Doesn't make
entire
sense.
life, it doesn't make sense.
Waste of time.
I would rather lift weight and just look aesthetically well.
Yeah.
You know?
And compete in powerlifting.
Yeah.
PI, powerlifting India.
Get banned.
Get banned. Next one.
So let me complete this.
Yeah.
So Gary, I think I'm not competing anytime soon. I'll just compete now as a hobby or a passion thing where I'll go to Thailand once in a while, do like 2-3 open tournaments over
Siam
there.
Cup, all of that.
Yeah, Siam Cup. Not even gi tournaments, like no gi tournaments, ADCC style only. But I'll do that like once a year. I'll go and do 2-3 tournaments just for my own satisfaction as a teacher, I would say. Okay.
For the art.
Yeah, for the art, not very competitively. I'm out of it.
Another question.
I may compete in a MMA fight before than a jiu-jitsu fight though, so you never know. Because I've been working my striking, guys.
I've been seeing that. It's
Yeah.
improving as well with Gagan.
Thank you.
I was looking at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, all those guys can beat me up. They just respect me too much. He coach ko nahi marna. So that's why I look good a little bit.
Nice. Gary asked another question. How many black belts does India have?
So,
There's Ashwin Hoon, who's a black belt. now.
Ashwin, Siddharth, who is the first ever competitive black belt in India. Nobody competed before that. Then we have
BJJ India guy.
BJJ India, Arun Sharma, who is the first black belt. So this is how in India we quantify. Like one guy will say, I'm the first Indian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Other guy will say, I'm the first Indian Jiu-Jitsu black
Competitive.
belt. Then somebody comes along and they say, I'm the first Indian Jiu-Jitsu black belt to compete out of India. You know, people are like that also. So this is the
differentiation.
And I don't understand the need for it, bro. Just be a black belt and just be humble and just chill the fuck out. Why do you need to add like so many caveats? So I was the first guy who had enough money to go fly out to California to compete in one jiu-jitsu competition. So I'm special in some way. So that is, again, these kind of mindset and everything drives me away from jiu-jitsu. Ki, bro, kya kar rahe ho? Like, what are you doing? So even if there are like 100 black belts, yeah, your black belt exists, grow the sport, do whatever you are doing. Just don't market yourself as the only black belt or the first black belt or the fifth black belt.
Yeah, for sure. Just 3 then, right now.
I think there are more. There are more people that we don't know about. I just don't know the names, but I'm sure in some part of it. You mean like the only Indian born and brought up black belt? You're saying like that?
Yeah, homegrown here on this side.
Interesting.
I think I can't think of anyone else. No one else comes to mind.
True. I've heard like in Northeast or something like there are brown belts and other people, but they might not be as legit
Black.
also.
Yeah. There's brown belts in Bangalore as well. There's Rohit Vasudeva and there's this other guy called Rahul.
Rohit needs to be a black belt, bro. Like he has been
think
doing it
that's the
for
next
like
step.
12, 15 years.
That's the next step.
What will he claim himself as? The first Bangalorean black belt in India?
Yeah, I don't know. Knowing the guy, he like won't claim anything. He'll just go on with it and keep practicing the martial art.
I'll be the first black belt though, who got his all different belts from all different coaches. I got my white belt from Arun Sharma. I got my blue belt from Rohit. I got my purple belt from John Combs, who is never probably coming back to India again. And then we have brown belt and black belt. So I'll see, bro. I'll try to switch up instructors. Usually in Jiu-Jitsu or in MMA, bro, all in Jiu-Jitsu specifically, everyone is so fascinated by this thing कि जिसने मेरे को white belt दिया, वही मेरे को black belt देगा. And this kind of mentality, I feel, leads to a lot of cult.
That's why it becomes the cult. Because now you can't change instructors.
Because now you're so dedicated or committed to that one single guy. Like, I'll not take name, but there was this guy in Delhi, Gurgaon scene who was there. I asked him, bro, okay, this instructor, you don't like him. You have told me verbally about him, you don't like to train the way he trains or like disrespects you and things like that. Why don't you start your own thing or do your own business? He's like, no bro, I have gotten my blue belt under him. I also want my purple and my black belt under him, so I can't go away from him. I was like, bro,
That's crazy. That's really
what are
toxic.
you even thinking about? What are you even thinking about? Like, life is so much
bigger
more
than that.
diverse and bigger, and you are like a speck of dirt, and you're talking about कि मेरे को बस इसी से चाहिए और इसीलिए I will take up all the abuse and everything. I was like, good luck,
That's
bro.
insane. That's like a toxic boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah,
You can't move on now from this
Even if
relationship.
they're abusive, just because he loved me once.
Just because they were your first. Don't listen to
Yeah.
Cool. So, next question. Neha Rao. I think she trains.
Yeah, she is.
She was a bodybuilder.
She's a bodybuilder here,
yeah.
but I know her because her boyfriend used to be my student in Gurgaon.
Yeah, I've heard about him as well. Now, he also trains now in Kaizen.
No, he's not training. He's in Gurgaon only right now.
Okay. So, I guess he suggested you should train at Kaizen.
He suggested you.
No, he suggested Neha.
Oh,
I guess,
yeah.
to train at Kaizen.
I guess so. That's all.
Her question is, have you had any injuries? Which one was the worst?
Luckily, I didn't have like very catastrophic injuries. I had like a crank here or there on the heel hooks that I picked up in competition, one against Arman in ADCC. It was 2020, where I couldn't, I limped for like 15-20 days, but then it self-healed. Nothing required surgery ever. So thankfully, where's the wood? Touch wood.
Touch wood.
Okay, and I've had like shoulder, like some kind of impediments or pulls where I had like nasty pain. So Strangle Kolkata, you remember we met?
I remember.
I was in nasty, terrible pain for like all those 2-3 days because I couldn't like lift my hand. It was, the whole pain was running like all through my hand for the entire 2-3 days. I would just writ myself in bed. But yeah, that is the maximum extent of injuries. No broken elbows, no dislocated. So I've kept myself pretty safe and secured. Like I try to train like that where I'm not just wilding out. Every single session we go to roll at Kaizen also. Sometimes, you know, you have that random visitor who is not aware of what are the safe practices. So I make sure before every training session to tell them, you guys, don't do X, don't do Y. So that by a time like it's 1 or 2 years, everyone becomes accustomed to all the rules. You know, it's very important. I feel in gyms in India, people jump on knees like anything. I was seeing a video highlight of one of the popular guys, Jiu-Jitsu guys in, not popular, but one of the names of Jiu-Jitsu in Bangalore. And it was like a local in-house tournament that they hosted. Okay. And you will see these white belts, bro, they're from rear body lock, they are trying to take someone down, jumping on the side of their knee, of opponent's knee with their hip. And their knee is completely caving in and the fight is going on. So imagine if you
For an
break...
in-house tournament.
Yeah, imagine if you break your knee in an in-house tournament. Just because your coach did not educate you what moves not to do.
It's too bad, man. Next question, Brian Bob, Jacob.
He's my student, yeah.
Future plans for Kaizen? Planning any expansion?
100%. We are planning on expansion because the space is very inadequate. It served us well for the first year. Hopefully before our anniversary, we'll be able to make the move. But again, no promises. You never know what happens. It's all about everything coming together at the same time. So yeah, Bran, thank you for being interested in our expansion. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's like his vested interest as well, right? Like, it concerns like he'll move with you guys.
Yeah,
Good question. Shravani, Shraks, what's your go-to hype song and your favorite jiu-jitsu competition? Okay, different question. What's your go-to hype song?
Go-to hype song. So before my competition, I enjoyed listening to this Eminem song Kamikaze. Have you listened to that?
Yeah.
Smash into everything, crash into everything. So ये वाला अच्छा था. So that was my. मेरे को Eye of the Tiger कभी समझ नहीं आया. सारे लोग कहते हैं it is my go-to pump-up song. लेकिन it just does not hit the same. Maybe for US audience or people who are like more English oriented, it's easier to understand.
I don't know. I don't imagine myself like as a tiger,
Exactly.
like the eye of a tiger. I don't get it.
Yeah, what is that metaphor? Eye of the tiger, bro. What the fuck? Eye of the storm.
There's that scene, right, in the Rocky movies where he's like, Eye of the Tiger, Rocky, like Apollo tells him. Like, because his eyes apparently, it seemed like he lost the fight with that Russian dude. Before he even fought him, he's like, he's going to kill me or something.
That's
he's
why
like, I
I
don't
didn't
see
get
it in
that
you. I don't
reference.
see the eye of the tiger.
Show me that.
Then Apollo died after that. That's what happens when you have the eye.
No,
of the tiger.
Rocky movies have actually, this is my hot take, Rocky movies have actually ruined a lot of MMA and boxing fighters all over the world.
Yeah.
Guess why? Because they have this popular line na ki it doesn't matter if you fall down 10 times.
Yeah.
It matters how many times.
Doesn't
No, it
matter
doesn't matter how
hit.
hard you get
Matters
it.
how hard you can get hit and keep moving
Yes.
forward.
And all these motherfuckers, when they get dazed or something, they'll forget their defense. They'll be like, yeah, come. Hit me more. Here, take my chin. So this bullshit has come through this movie. And
Knockout, not
yeah.
even TKO, just knockout.
और फिर इसको बॉलीवुड वालों ने भी बहुत कॉपी किया था. पहले हीरो पिटेगा खूब, गिर जाएगा, नॉकआउट हो जाएगा और उसके बाद नॉकआउट से वेकअप करके फिर नॉकआउट करेगा.
Yeah, dude. Shravani's next question. Favorite comp experience? ADCC trials? Singapore? Good experience?
Bittersweet. Losing is not a good experience. Bro.
Okay, then I would say Strangle. The Carlos Almeida.
Wait, let me think of what I have won.
You didn't beat him though, right?
So I think Leverage 9 was a good experience for me because
Aman Gusen final.
I just moved to Warriors Cove right after COVID and then they hosted this competition. Again, like I was in a room where people were really good and nobody was expecting me to make it to the finals because they had their own top guys.
Sean Lyle.
Sean, Rajas, all these guys. And then they had Rachit, best of the cross-train guy.
They had Greek God as well, right?
नहीं, वो नहीं था. In my first fight, I
Seth
think it
Rosario?
was Seth. I then beat one more guy. I beat Nihal, second round. And then third round, I beat Rachit. And the fourth round in the finals, I had that epic loss to Aman with that heel hook. So yeah, I think that competition was one of the very fun experience and challenging experience because I had to go through a lot. First fight, I had to go through Seth, who again, if people look jacked and American and white, you already as an Indian guy is like, Indian vegetarian guy is like, bro, what the fuck can I win? And then I heel hooked him. And then second fight was Bira, who was one of my best friends till then. I mean, still is. Not best, but friend. But till that point of time, we were like super close and we used to talk a lot. And then I had to compete and fight him. And then that was a different kind of emotional roller coaster. And then third one was Rachit, who had beaten me like spectacularly in ADCC 2020. He beat me with like 12-0 or something. And this fight, I won in the EBI rounds. I took his back and almost finished him there. So that was a good victory to have because that really boosted my confidence. And then with that high, I just lost in the finals very dramatically. So, yeah.
Aman Gusen.
Yeah.
What does M in Kaizen, I don't know what this means. What does M in Kaizen stand for?
Oh, this was a joke. So basically, we made a reel calling the S in Kaizen stands for safety.
And it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So that was the same joke that she's trying to. Who posted this?
Shravani.
Damn, she has 3 questions.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know who this guy is. Music by Ash.
Oh, he's one of my students.
Looking at this, he's like, which gym is this? That's supposed to be like.
He was in Rebel and he had like a bad fallout
Experience.
with Rebel. So that's why he's making that remark.
What is it? Ethan Saju, opinion on MMA style grappling. So less focus on sub, sweeps from bottom, and emphasis on turtling on standing up. I see there's 2 replies to this. I don't know.
Ethan is my student as well again here at Kaizen.
Okay.
What did he ask again?
Opinion on MMA style grappling.
MMA style grappling and what did he say next?
So less focus on subs, sweeps from bottom, and emphasis on turtling or standing up.
No, definitely you should have focus on submissions all the time whenever you're grappling. But remember that you should have positions for it. Especially in MMA, if you try to submit people out of position, you'll get punished very heavily by it. Because you not only lose position, you also get ground and pounded. You get punched in the face.
Yeah.
So in MMA specifically, position comes number 1. Submissions become easier due to your application of ground and pound. So it's easy to submit people in MMA. Even blue belt, we have seen instances of submitting black belts in competitions a lot. The sweeps and getting up part is super valuable for MMA. You need to know how to get back to your feet. Okay? Or you need to reverse people so that you can use your jiu-jitsu better. Using jiu-jitsu from the bottom position has been time again proven to be super difficult, if not impossible in MMA. So, and now fighters have become so jiu-jitsu savvy that it's almost impossible to submit anyone from bottom. So, focus more on like getting to the top position. Wrestling is important. So, don't think MMA grappling as jiu-jitsu, think of it as like everything. Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, wall wrestling,
All of it.
all of it.
Got it. Avilash left, like, it's not a question, it's just an emoji, like that.
Avilash, back to you.
It's just Manish. I'm not sure who this guy is. Which is your favorite move in Jiu-Jitsu? And why? Is it the Americana? The most basic.
I wish. Maybe my white belt self says Americana. Americana is the first submission that I got, so that is very close to everyone's, right?
Mine as well.
When you get that first feeling of people tapping on you doing something, you're like, what the fuck?
It works. Jiu-Jitsu works.
Superpower unlocked.
I didn't waste my time for 3 months.
Superpower unlocked. And also because you are getting tapped by it so many times. Like all other people are just Americanaing you. You are like, what the
Spamming
fuck?
Americana is just...
So my favorite move will be, I think any kind of crab ride style back take where you are inverting under them and just getting your butterfly hooks, elevating them, getting them into the back take positions.
Slick.
Yeah, any kind of, although I hate inversion based moves, but this is something that you can be really creative with. You can get into these crab ride back takes from top, from bottom. And when you hit that thing now where people's body flies and you get the back. It's too cool. Baby Bolo, all this
Devesh
style
loves
of...
that move. Like,
all of IJJ gang used to love that. We used to just do that all the time. Twister rolls, crab ride, that whole series of sequences is pretty fun to do.
Yeah. I did a class once and then he taught that move. Exactly.
Nice.
The crab style. Back
I want to teach it today to the class, but there were so many people and we were just crashing into each other. So we just did Rotolo team and then that's it.
Yep. Final question. I don't have to look at it. It's from David, who's probably fighting you. Why are you gay?
David, just for you, bro. You are so attractive. My orientation just flipped. By the way, his fight is going on right now, no? Hopefully.
Yeah. Imagine on the day of the fight, he comments something like that to you.
You have to be in that mind space to forget. But David is one of the coolest guys in the Indian MMA scene, in my opinion. I've met him so many different competitions now, MMA competitions that we have been to. We always hang out together. We are always chilling together. Even so, last time we went to DCW. Na, what do you need? So last time I went to DCW with him, his fighter was fighting my guy Prakhar, right? And I was coaching Prakhar. So we were not spending time with our guys. We were just hanging out with ourselves.
Yeah, I saw that. And eating momos, right?
Yeah, both of these guys were just chilling out. So Prakhar had his own students to help him, and his fighter was just like sleeping all day in the hotel. So we had a blast. We were just moving around, chilling out with David and all. So yeah, David, good luck, brother.
I'm not gay.
Not gay.
Yeah, man, that is kind of it. Just like I kind of ask everyone this, whoever comes to the podcast. I didn't ask the boys, Jiu-Jitsu boys, at last time because I just missed it out. But 10 years from now, you're watching this podcast, this episode that we did, it somehow pops up on YouTube Memories 2035. What do you think happened? Like, what is he like? What happened?
Where am I in that point of life? What
did Kaizen become everything it could be? Do we have an Indian UFC champion?
2035, we definitely have an Indian UFC champion. I think we have multiple. We have a couple UFC champions in 2 weight categories. Kaizen becomes a multi-city gym. So in Bangalore, we'll have like 3-4 branches. We'll have branches in Hyderabad. We'll have branches in Pune. We'll have branches in Chennai. All these important cities where there is no availability of good high-level MMA gyms right now. So I see that happening hopefully by 2035 because 10 years is a fucking long time. So I love this quote which I posted like on the first day also of my Kaizen page by Danaher. He says, it takes 5 years to reinvent yourself, right? So even if I start right now, like let's say I've started striking right now, in 5 years, I can become one of the best strikers in the world if I really dedicate myself to it. It takes that amount of time. So in 10 years, you can become like the best business. Yeah, you can become the best business in the country. So I see a couple of UFC fighters from Kaizen and all other different promotions as well, high-level promotions. And I see Kaizen becoming a big MMA brand in the country.
For sure, I really hope it comes to be, and I'll do everything I can. Like make that happen. Like
thank you.
My part.
It will require definitely this community support People will have to trust you, elevate you, help you, and there will be like, I can see it will not be just a like high ride. It will be lows also, where we go with big hopes and we lose, and then people start shit on us. But what will remain consistent, I feel, from my side, is the work and the study and the dedication we put out. On the same note, I would like to shout out this guy Rishabh from Grappler Sync before, now at Kaizen.
Rishabh.
He is doing a fantastic job at Kaizen, helping our MMA program. And obviously, we are not paying him as much as I would like right now because we are a smaller gym. But in future, I would definitely want him to be on my side, like while we conquer all these dreams, because we are right there at the foundation of it.
Yeah.
And
ground floor.
Yeah, and I like to have people like who start with me, stay with me throughout. Because I've seen a lot of people who are like very anti community. Like you'll. अभी तक Indian MMA scene या Jiu Jitsu scene में क्या होता है? I don't like this gym, you don't like that gym.
Yeah.
I hate this guy, so I'll
Don't talk to that guy. If I see you talking to that guy, I'm not talking to you.
So that kind of thing, I feel like we should move past at this point, and
Yeah.
especially not with the older people, because the first generation, second generation, they already have that preconceived ideas, and that is not going to change. It's like changing the mind, political opinion of a 40-year-old person. It never happens.
It's not going to happen.
Right? But with this newer generation that's coming along, I want to be like on the same page with them, like have freedom to train, meet, communicate, have tournaments and all these things that kind of build the ecosystem around the country. Yeah, and both for MMA and Jiu Jitsu.
For sure.
So if you guys need any of my help, please shoot me a DM. I would love to answer all your questions or whatever.
MagicMan13 on Instagram.
.13.
MagicMan.13 on Instagram.
Yeah.
MagicMan Explains. I don't think you use that anymore.
नहीं, उसपे मैं अपने so क्या कर रहा था ना, मैं story पे बहुत ज़्यादा breakdowns डालता था.
Yeah.
And those stories used to disappear. So a lot of people message me कि भाई story को screen record करना पड़ता है, इसको highlights में डाल लो. फिर highlights में डालने लगा, so I realized at one point of time, if you click one highlight, there are like 52 stories. So to reach like to the latest story, it would take like a whole year. So then I started this page where I would just post all of it. But again, that becomes a task.
Another full-time job to
Another full-time job.
Maintain that magic. What's the vlog? Instagram page.
MMA lifestyle vlog, guys.
MMA.
If you want to watch how we train on a daily basis on Instagram, what's my lifestyle is, at least the first half, second half I don't show yet. So yeah, MMA
And
lifestyle vlog.
You're on day 20.
Day 17.
Okay, so it didn't start from New Year.
Today was day 18, yeah. नहीं बीच में एक दो दिन का मैंने break भी लिया. I posted like a different content, like a breakdown one. And I want to do that because I don't want to be like so committed also कि I stop enjoying life.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think that's what it takes, consistency. Yeah. Cool, bro. Thank you for doing this.
Hey, bro. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah,
thank you for having me here. And बंद हो गया क्या? Did we go out of frame? Okay,
cool.
So hopefully we come back soon once again. Like I would love to come back again and just chit chat, talk, show what progress we have had like till that point of time. And I hope that your podcast also takes off because
Magic Man Part 2.
Superset Radio is like a super cool name. And whatever you're planning to do with this, I'll be around here, bro.
I almost named it something else. I named it Good Game.
Good Game, GG.
GG. I thought it would be that. And then I had a mishap in the first episode itself where I didn't have Shobit back then. So I recorded the entire thing with my first guest and the mic never connected.
That will always happen when you're shooting a podcast.
So I was like, I need a guy. And then I got him.
That's perfect.
Now he's always been
Good job, brother. The reels are looking... Reels too bana raha tha na Vidak?
Yeah, so far.
Reels
but
are looking
now
good.
He'll be taking over reels.
Perfect.
I'll still edit like the long form.
The reels is what will give you like, I feel, the maximum reach in my opinion.
Yeah, I reached, I think 100K, but it took me 3 months. Like
100K
views.
in what? Reels? Okay.
Views. I think like if I can reach it in 1 month, pretty good.
Nice.
Cool, bro. Like I said, thank you for
once
doing
again.
this. I'll see you guys in the next one, episode 6.